Drumroll finishes, and the target is hit.
And it comes on finals night, and it's another
Brilliant! Dirty Harrison! Van Velzen!
Carry me and take me away to where I should be.
Jamie and Debbie Caven,
100.
you're responsible for that 180, which is simply ridiculous. Oh, it's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
Double 18. Well, that's 5 hits from 5 on the double. This is such a useful performance from Adam Gavlas. Charlie Manby went back to the drinks table expecting it to go. It does. 12 after. Charlie Manby goes top tops, he gets top tops. And to be honest, there was a feeling that was never in doubt.
19. Oh, that is majestic. There's another one. He's on fire.
Oh, I wonder if there's a place where the sun won't go away.
Two of the most apt words in this sport. Game on. And with 3 people already through to Saturday night here at the Modus Live Lounge in Portsmouth in the week 6 of Series 11, it is time to figure out the next half of the combatants. And we will figure them out over the next few hours with myself, Paul the Asset Nicholson, and I'm going to be joined over the course of the next few hours to figure out those names with the African warrior, Devin Peterson. We did get 2 more names in the hat for Saturday night this afternoon, but boy, was that a journey. It was fun, but it was a bit stressful as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think all the permutations at the end, and when you looked at the way in which the league table set up, I mean, at the start of the day, you thought that could quickly go half of the fixtures completed and we would know who's gone through. But that changed very quickly. And you'll see there that the top 4 now has completely changed because, surprise, surprise, Ivan Springborg went from 6th to 3rd. Kieran went from 2nd to 1st, and Ronan was almost out as well. So Darren Johnson went from 3rd to 4th, and he had a chance to also qualify. So all of the elements that all the permutations, everything that could have gone wrong and gone right, kind of went till the end of the day as well. So it was fantastic, great drama, and I think that it was probably one of the most dramaful days that I've ever been involved in.
Yeah, same here. I couldn't quite believe that we had 5 players on 10 points going into the last round, but obviously Kieran Tian did win the group. Darren Johnson, he'll be licking his wounds a little bit over the next couple of days because he had a chance in the last match to win the group. He ended up in 4th position, but it is Neil Duff who won Group A in the first 3 days of the week. He's going to be joining 2 Irish players in the form of Tian and Ronan McDonough, who is not licking his wounds, but is very much counting his chickens as he goes into his 2nd consecutive Saturday night in 2025. Tonight, we're going to look at Group B, of course. Last night, we saw Martin Thomas getting himself up to the top of the table on 6 points. Nobody having a perfect evening, but everybody's still very much in the fold, Devin.
Yeah, I think Group B does have a little bit of, I mean, first day, if nobody wins it completely, as in all through all the games perfectly, and then puts everybody else in a position to win. So even the likes of David as well, he still has a chance if he has a good run today. So I think everybody's still in it. Top 3 might remain as it is, but I think that there might be, I mean, like this afternoon, we had a twist and some drama. I'm sure that there's going to be drama full today.
Yeah, we definitely did. Now, Martin Thomas does lead the field here, and Series 11 so far is being dominated by experience instead of youth or people who are on debut. This man has got plenty of experience, and when he's doing things like that, albeit for his 2nd leg against Gavlas last night, he's doing the right things to be in position, and he's got to be very happy with the way he played.
It's almost using energy and just at the right times, like you're saying. So, for example, not panicking when you're behind, not being in a finding yourself in a position where you need to kind of settle and straighten up instead of just panic and go, I'm going to need to complete this. I'm going to need to win all my legs now to kind of win. It's just taking it one step at a time. And I think that that's where the experience comes in. I mean, the Modus Super Series, first of all, is a sprint. But for many players, when you do get into that 2-0 lead or deficit of 2-0 as well, there's different emotions, and you have to have experience to actually overcome those demons.
As far as the odds were concerned in Group C, they almost got it right because they had Ronan McDonough as the favourite both days. But today, they've gone for Martin Thomas at 15-8 as the favourite. Adam Gavlas as a 2-1 second favourite, and Manby at 3-1. They've followed the way that the table has progressed over the first night. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think, Martin Thomas showed a lot of experience and obviously leading the table. So I think that does form great part. But I think Henry Coates at 8-1, slightly outpriced simply because he had loads of opportunities on the double. He didn't take his chances, and that gave him I think it was a 17 or 18% on the checkout. So if that changes for him, we know his scoring power is great. But if that element changes in his game, it could be a big change in who goes through tonight.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens. If you are having a little bit of a flutter tonight, please remember it's over 18s only. Gambleaware.org for all of the information on that, and please gamble responsibly. So, moving forward, let's have a look and see what's happening ahead of our action. Well, it's not going to be ahead of our action. Do pardon my my blessings there. It is going to be from Monday morning because the girls are back in town.
Oh, beautiful. Sophie McKinley, the bullseye.
Finds it with a third dart. Great to get that victory over Lorraine.
Takes it out superbly. Queen of Gulliver.
And she finds it. That's good composure there from Kirsty Vinakainen.
Does it in 3.
So Pauling looking at 130. Another double 5. Oh, that's magnificent. It's another big checkout and a big time for Paige Pauling.
On the first leg.
Check. Double 13. 3-2 up. She does.
Game shot on the second leg. Angela Kirkwood.
Bullseye.
Game shot on the third leg. Steph Clark.
So 109 for the match and 6 darts from here for Vicky Fruin. Is she going to find her second tub plus checker of the match? Yes, she is.
Once again, she hits the treble double 18. A nice little Natalie.
Said dart is going to be at double top. Said dart is found. And this is a good couple of legs of Kirsty Hutchinson here.
Yes, the lasses are back in town next week. And, of course, in Group A, you're going to get Gemma Hayter. She loves Group A, doesn't she? But you're also going to get a smattering of Natalie Gilbert and Kirsty Hutchinson. They've been here before, as you've just seen from that video package. But we're going to welcome the likes of Robin Byrne and Sophie McKinley and Angela Kirkwood. That is a lovely-looking 6 days next week. Do not miss it. It's going to be best of 5 legs all week long, and it will start from 9:30 a.m. live on Pluto TV, and it will be on Monday. But before we get to Monday, yes, I got it right this time. Before we get to Monday, let us bask in the glory of Group B one last time with 10 games ahead of our Saturday night spectacular, which may indeed involve a little bit of champagne, but if Charlie Manby is not careful, we might have to put him on ice. He's up against someone who is from the same part of the country as a certain Iceman. But Charlie, 19 years of age, from Huddersfield, he is very much an exciting prospect and has played some spectacular stuff this week. But it's this man who heads the field at age 52 from a town just outside of Aberystwyth in West Wales. And he will definitely fancy his chances of making Saturday night once again. Thomas has a very decent record. 4 Saturdays from 6 attempts.
As for Paul Hinks, he's been to more Saturdays
First leg, Charlie. The
than almost
31st.
anybody who's come through the door.
Game on.
And Devin Peterson will be the wingman of the night here in the commentary box as we put in the last 3 names to the Week 6 finals.
And you forgot about the originator of
140.
the name Champagne. That's Barry Bates. Also from Wales, but Charlie Manby.
82.
Certainly a prospect for the future. Like his throw, I've seen some of the stuff. But this would be the first time that
45.
I've actually got a close-up of what Charlie Manby's about. And stature, just simple throw. Timing.
59.
Kite flight as well. Also similar to an all-in-one, which is great little setup there. But Thomas, you did say Martin is a man of experience. Tonight, it's all
48.
about what Martin Thomas does in his early rounds.
One thing we do know from the Group B dynamics is that if everybody does get a win,
60.
if somebody gets to 10 points, that will make them safe. So, as long as Martin knows this, 2 wins from 4,
140.
he will make Saturday.
Charlie 160.
It's that simple.
And it's great to kick off in this way, simply
70.
because
Matthew Carr
Martin has,
128.
after the first 3 fixtures, Martin is part of 2 of them. And now he's missed there with the possibility of a 10+ checkout. First start, perfect. Now has to set up, and all he can do is wait.
88.
Manby has
Charlie
the throw,
90.
so he has the first shot at the checkout.
Had the only 10+ average yesterday. 10+ checkouts have been his
60. Matthew Carr
Complete.
40.
A+ job this week. He's had more than anybody else, but he wasn't pleased with that 90 checkout, missing 2 dots, double 15 for it.
Getting shown the first leg. Martin
Here's the price
Thomas.
as well. I wonder if that C in
Second leg, Martin
the middle
to
of Martin
first.
Thomas is going to stand for champion this week.
Game on.
You think about who's come through in this series. I said to you at the top of the show, Devon, this is all about experience, this series. Jeff Smith, Scott Taylor, John O'Shea,
60.
Shane McGurk, Andy Hamilton. What do they all have in common? Vast experience. There may be some people who
120.
are already there for the middle of August who are having their first visit to a Champions Week. But those people have already done plenty.
125.
Jeff Smith, for instance, has been a World Cup singles champion in Japan in 2017, so it's not as if it's his first rodeo.
Yeah, scoreboard's gone wrong.
Apologies for this break in play. Just a slight problem with our graphic there. Players have been instructed to halt play by referee Paul Hinks. And that is the classic referee symbol of stay. Who's in charge? Paul Hinks is in charge. When he says stay, you stay. I
96.
don't think he's going to tell him to sit. That's it. Fetch. Yeah, probably say that to Rhys Colley after his bounce out last
100.
week.
Martin Thomas, yeah, just steadying the ship early on. Manby, 2 dropouts so far in this leg.
Now, we are going to talk
79.
about that topic. I've been saving it for when you're here, Devon. I want to get your input on this. Because Charlie's had a few darts like that this
24.
week. It's not a bounce out. It's not a fallout. It's something else. It's a flight collision.
100.
I know there's a lot of R&D or research and development going into this right now, where manufacturers are looking at
95.
a word
Charlie
called
Car,
absorption,
106.
where the dart hits another dart, and they're trying to figure out if there's a way that the flight and stem can just soak up some of the inertia.
Getting shot on the second leg, Charlie
Well, you don't need
Manby.
it there because that's 3 different parts of the board. It's 1-1.
Third
Your
leg,
thoughts on
Charlie
that,
to
anyway?
through first.
Yeah, there's no way, just because of the momentum of the throw. I know that there's
Game
a
on.
few, there is definitely a few manufacturers working on that. But I think that is also the thickness of the flight. It's also the material the
100.
flight is molded with. I know that there's some that's using spring loads and all of these other things as well. And some, obviously, I think the one with Charlie
82.
Manby, his one can rotate slightly. And it just becomes, you can't really, unless the flight pops off and the
57.
dart continues to stay on the trajectory path, then it would work. But just having a fully molded flight, there's no way that you can actually avoid it.
134.
I think it's accentuated by the fact that Manby's angle of attack in the board is upright, but it leans right. So when it hits the board,
140.
it hits it with a kink. So if he hits the flight first, the first thing that point wants to do is go left.
140.
And I think you're correct there, because it's not absorbing or it's not penetrating the board at the correct angle, which is straight, so that the size can
94.
hold on to it.
Magic
So
car,
it's kind of going from the
145.
side, and there's a gap, and that gap is causing it to be not as stiff in the board itself. And you look at his design of his dart, he's got like a little bit of a bulbous
84.
front part,
Charlie
similar to
Car,
Gary
110.
Anderson as well.
It is actually a Gary Anderson dart.
Okay.
We had that confirmed earlier in the week. Double 18.
92.
This time he misses it,
Mario Car,
offering
61.
up a chance of a break of throw for Martin.
He's going to be a tough customer this week.
21. Charlie Car, 18.
Double 9. Good marker. Or is it?
Nobody,
Or was it?
9.
nobody likes double
Mario Car,
9.
40.
That is the message of the week. Apart from Peter Wachuri. That is a
on the
beautiful
third leg,
dart
Martin
from Martin
Thomas.
Thomas. He does get that break of throw.
Fourth leg, Martin to through first. Game on. $134.
Martin Thomas there landing the double tops. Now Charlie Manby. And this is a
122.
big thing though for Charlie, because when his dart is penetrating the treble 20 like it did, and it doesn't penetrate correctly, he can't use
95.
that dart as a bounce of dart, because it could jeopardize his whole entire squad. And that's a good lay. But Gary Anderson, when he hit
137.
the infamous no score when hitting a 180, that's kind of what Charlie Manby will be experiencing.
Yeah, it's really curious, actually,
55.
because he's using the same equipment as Gary right now, but not the same colour. But Gary's darts lean the other way. Gary's darts kink
140.
left. Charlie's kink right. And with a front-loaded dart like that, you would actually expect them to go in the board a little straighter. But
59. Charlie Car,
for these guys, they don't
102.
mind having it leaning either way.
As long as they lean whilst it's in the treble 20. Needs a double 10 now, double 16.
Game
Charlie
shot the fourth leg,
Manby,
Charlie
ton
Manby.
machine, it's all about the champagne shots for Charlie. I
Fifth leg,
think
Charlie
one of
to
the
through
things
first.
that has to be noted, and it's an important fact,
Game on.
it's the diameter of the point as well. It looks like the point is slightly a bit thicker as well.
57.
And that will cause him not to penetrate the board correctly. But Charlie Manby, look at this man. I've not had the privilege
57.
of seeing him up close like this and just watching him. 10 plus checkouts are just with ease though. And he
14
throws.
this week. 14.
140.
That's not normal.
Absolute solid. I mean, that's what you call top class potential.
90.
He has the record for highest average as well, isn't it?
Over 130.
I can tell why.
180.
Talent is scary.
Well, he's from Yorkshire. What a shock. Another young star from Yorkshire.
45.
Can you imagine if he played mixed pairs with Bo
124.
Greaves? The world would just be at their mercy. Interesting. Didn't go
88.
for the 60. Only saw half of it and he thought, you know what, I'll leave double 18 again. Why not?
44.
He could
Johnny
vault his
Carr,
way
36.
towards the top of the table here. He was the best player in the first half last night.
Game show the 5th leg.
He's the best player in
Manby.
this game so far.
6th leg Marty to third first. Game on.
I get the feeling that Charlie's going to be a very, very popular player. Just the way he
70.
plays the game, he's ice cold, as he should be, known as champagne. Serve that warm. And
94.
you should really go back to school.
He's got everything, I mean, from a throw perspective,
81.
everything just seems to be correct. It's just completion of the throw, the setup, the anchoring shoulder at the back, everything just stays straight, pushes straight through it.
60.
Elbow comes through. It's just a phenomenal execution of a throw from A to B and from C to D. I mean, that is just what you need.
100.
And I think that a lot of the times players, and I always call it stumble upon their greatness, right? And he's been a player that probably showed potential in the Yorkshire team.
62.
And then there was that one little thing that clicked for him, and it could have just been a complete extension, or he grew to the correct height. He probably won 1.7 meters tall, and that's kind of
100.
perfect height. So he's just got everything as it is right now.
You think about the youth team he was in when he played for England. Thomas Banks,
45.
Archie
Matthew
Self,
Carr,
and Luke
150.
Littler, and Charlie Manby. That is frightening.
Don't fancy that.
That would scare any men's team.
90.
Just all that energy as well. You could just imagine them just doing what it is, just screaming, shouting, just full
100.
of energy.
Matthew Carr, 60.
Well, Thomas is very much alive in this game. Tops again. Nothing
Game
wrong with
show
that,
the 6th leg
Tops.
Martin Thomas.
3-3.
7th final
Didn't
leg
see
Charlie
many of
to third
those
first.
this
Game
afternoon
on.
because we were too busy swimming in a pool of 4-2s. This is a big leg already.
One of them.
Thomas
40.
wins this leg against the darts. He will be 4 points ahead of his opponent in the table with 3 games to go. But if Charlie wins this leg,
134.
they're pretty much tied. 6 points. Leg difference.
One of them. 40.
Barely anything between them. And Manby is playing this last leg decider like it's a walk in the park.
26. $92.
Martin Thomas, quick on the release as well.
42.
But not
Charlie Carr,
finding any of the
129.
trebles. Charlie Manby now 129 and game. He's going to have to set it up.
57.
No panic whatsoever. He can single his way to a match dart. When Thomas is starting on 20s, on 299,
137.
you've got to be
Charlie
thinking
Carr,
everything's
72.
all right. He couldn't leave a finish. So it is double 12. And just
Game
like
show the
that,
match,
Charlie
Manby.
Manby is on 6 points with Adam Gavlas and Martin Thomas. A spectacular game between those two. They really know how to serve up some brilliant games. That's their second 4-3 this week. And remember that Martin Thomas did finish with a 10-dart leg in the early hours. But this time, Charlie gets his own back. He wins by 4 legs to 3 before we have Henry Coates up against Gavlas.
Are you ready to lift that trophy, Darius? Yes. Let's do it then. Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Labanowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy time. So receive the trophy. £25,000. The new Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And one more time, the 8th Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new Modus Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison. And one more time, the 7th Modus Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison!
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 Modus Super Series champion, Scott Taylor!
One more time, your new Modus Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McEwen.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series champion, retaining his title, the Nuke, Luke Littler!
Hold the phone. We've got something happening here in Portsmouth. Yes, we've only played one game for the night, but let's have a little fun. Because we've just seen Charlie Manby up against Martin Thomas. And at the top of the table, this is how it stands. Before Adam Gavlas plays on his 6-point total from his first 4 games in Group B, Manby has 6 points, as does Thomas. Manby and Thomas have the same leg difference. They have the same legs won. They have a head-to-head record of 1-1 with 2 4-3s, and the only thing separating them at the top of the table is averages. And if that happens at the end of the night, boy, are we going to have a headache. But let's move on, shall we? Because we have another all-youth darts battle here between that young man and this young man, which in the early hours was also won by 4 legs to 3 by Adam Gavlas. In a very good display, averaging over 95 with a couple of maximums. And it's not funny to mention this, but it's something we have to mention. Henry Coates did lose with a 90-plus average, and he had 5 180s in that loss. 7 180s in the game.
First.
At one point, we were thinking we were going to break the most 180s in a Super Series match. But this time, Henry Coates has the darts. And he desperately
59.
needs to get off to a decent start, because now, in the bottom 2, Henry and Dave Wawrzewski are 4 points adrift of the top 3.
Things are looking tough for 4 and 5 for Henry and David. Henry has to make something happen in this
100.
game. And if he doesn't, Paul, it means that the top 3 are going to be cut adrift
93.
very early in this evening affair.
Yeah, this is one of those moments where you need someone to lay down and be the bridge between one side of the river and the other. And if you can't find that, 3 people are going to be on one side and 2 are going to be on the other side. And the 3 on one side
93.
are very close to Saturday. The other 2 are going to need to find something else to get to the other side.
100.
Interesting to note, though, Henry Coates is sponsored by Unicorn. Charlie Manby, sponsored by Unicorn. That strategy there is just investing in the future already. Adam Gavlas.
109.
That was the ricochet.
We need a dart player called Rick O'Shea, don't we?
85.
Oh, that would be.
Has John O'Shea got any cousins called Rick?
But we've already got the bullet. What would his what was his name be?
I think we can leave that up to John.
26.
He's the Joker. He's
Henry
the man
Carr
of
would have been
chaos. And he's
64.
going to be back at Champions Week in August. Henry is a product of
45.
one of the first major darts academies in the UK, courtesy of the Caven family, who do a wonderful job. That is a nice dart. He's looking for 4 more 19s.
$85.
Decides to go next door.
Henry Coward, 19.
19s again. Okay, don't. Should have known, really. Should have known.
Like Henry Coates.
He's from this generation where they love to start on the bull. And Henry Coates has started magnificently on the doubles.
Game on.
But last night he was not great on the doubles. He knows it. And if he puts that right, he should get opportunities to win games here this evening. 17% on the doubles for the first night. That will never be good enough.
And he knows it, though, and he knows that that is not his level as well.
60.
That's a big thing. And I feel as though as long as you got the scoring power, if the finishing isn't happening for
60.
you, generally you can switch on the next night. But if the scoring's not happening for you, you almost lose your... If you were a lion, you're losing your sharp bits, so your claws, your paws, the sharp teeth. You just have a roar, basically. And
57.
It's like a lion eating bananas all the time.
Here's the curious thing.
60.
Coates had the most darts at double last night, with 15 more than Martin Thomas, who led the way in the table. 15 more. He hit 9 from 51.
59.
It definitely didn't help that in his first game he was 1 from 5. That was a great game with Charlie Manby. That will be the last game of this group
100.
in the early hours of tomorrow morning. But it was the next game that really had him on the back foot. He lost to Martin Thomas, having had 1 from 15.
And he'll put that right today. Whether or not the top 3 in this group has an off game,
81.
that's kind of what they have to hope for. And the off game has to be against them. So Henry Coates is hoping for not an off game. He doesn't need an off game, but I'm saying if
49.
it is that there's a winning opportunity, it has to be against, like I'm saying, it's an Adam Gavlas or a Martin Thomas. But if they start to cut adrift, it gets very tough very quickly.
I would very much like to get your perspective on the Gavlas throw
60.
in the next leg, because he does something that not many dart players do. He's very much a one-motion player.
85.
Back and through, which is a strong, strong thing. However, if you look at this angle here, just to get a little bit of insight, like I said, we'll look at it in the next leg. It's how he draws the dart back that has got me fascinated. Coates would love to take a 2-0 lead.
89. Henry Carr, 147.
He might get 6 darts from here. He really
35.
does throw them hard, doesn't he?
Adam Carr, 95.
Adam there just calculating what he's going to do from 95. How many 20s? How many 5s?
85.
Sorry,
Henry Carr,
can't give you a high five for
112.
that one. But we might for this. Oh, what was he doing? Was he going for another treble?
72.
What is it
Henry
with these
Carr,
kids
10.
going treble 18 on 58? It isn't good. Don't do it. Your Uncle Asset has just told you off.
Game show
I'll
in
give
the
him a high
second
five
leg,
for that
Adam
one, though.
Gavlas.
It's 1-1.
I think he might have gone for the small treble,
Third leg
simply
entry to
because
third
of
first. Game
small
on.
segment of the 18, simply because how his dart lays. But that's where you should step over to the right and just
One out of them,
readjust in a
40.
sense. So that's a great opportunity there for him, and he could be throwing for 3-0.
That shot maybe cost Luke Littler a world championship.
Because he had
100.
7, didn't he?
He did have a double 2.
Yeah. That's correct, yeah.
And if
Double
he,
2, yeah.
If
yeah,
he
yeah.
hit it, he would have been 5 sets to 2 up on Luke Humphreys in the World Championship final last year. If he'd hit the single 18, we can only speculate that maybe he would have hit tops. It's very much a sliding doors moment, maybe the sliding doors moment of the last 2 years.
100.
So the Gavlas throw, what he does is he pitches his dart in front of his eye,
100.
but it's more to the left of his eye, comes down towards the nose, and then draws it back towards the right eye, almost not straight, but right back at an angle of maybe 25, 30 degrees. I think it's fascinating.
100.
I think
Henry
that's one of
Carr,
the reasons why he follows
170.
through like that one. Because he's trying to almost correct the fact that he's coming on the outside of the drawback.
41.
I think seeing it from the front would be great, because you see the angle of the elbow position, and if you just look at the fold, it doesn't actually turn it a lot. It just falls back, though, so it would mean that he's staying on that same kind of just the fold angle of it, which will mean that his elbow slightly a bit right away from the body.
43. Henry Carr,
But you're
129.
correct in saying that he has to correct it because it's coming almost left to right. And he has to
59.
then reverse that motion coming
Henry Carr,
out to maintain the
58.
straightness.
Absolutely. When you play Adam this week, you're going to have to be patient. He isn't the quickest of players, but he is very good. Averaged over 91 for last night's 4 games.
98. Henry Carr,
Doubles
70.
were 40%. He was recovering well after losing Group A by 1 game. Double 10 for Coates.
Game
That's
show on the
more
third
like
leg,
it, young
Henry
man.
Coates.
Somebody's hitting doubles this evening.
Fourth leg, Adam to through first. Game on.
This is the kind of standard, average-wise, that we were seeing this afternoon. If you were joining us live on Pluto TV this afternoon, I wouldn't be surprised if you went for a lie down in the sun afterwards, just to figure out what you'd viewed
60.
over the course of the 5.5 hours we were on the air.
$57.
Looking at the Coates throw, I don't know if you've noticed this, Devon, but the right shoulder, just before he thrusts it forward, it does dip, which puts extra emphasis on the thrust. If he can just quieten that down a little bit, throwing darts for him will be a lot easier. The lower that
57.
shoulder is, the harder it gets. Look at the right shoulder here.
He does throw with a uses the
45.
forearm, but also the back muscles come into play, which obviously doesn't really need, because the flight obviously controls the dart and the power. So you don't need to throw it that hard. And
You
that
see
is
from
the
that angle
perfect-
how much it comes to the right of the eye.
But look at the
nose
elbow
to eye.
positioning. The elbow positioning is what causes that.
Yeah, because the elbow's on the outside of the wrist.
100.
Correct. And this is great little, just showing you there. And as you see, there's a little bend in as if he's leaning into the throw. But that's a perfect lean.
100.
And he finds the maximum. But Adam Gavlas, I thought there was a slight little twist in the wrist. That's why. But it's not. It's because he has to straighten up the elbow. But like Gary Anderson. Gary Anderson has that outer elbow, and he kind of brings it in. But he's been doing it for so many years that
84.
he's perfected the movement.
I'm going to say something quite controversial now. Even though Gary's playing some of the best darts of his career
83.
right now, I don't think his throw's as good as it once was. If you look at the way he was throwing when he won the world title in 2016, that was peak Gary. The lines were just undeniable. Nowadays, it's very much a compact throw and a feel throw. But when someone can average 123 and get a new personal best, who are we to criticise?
140. Henry Carr,
Yeah,
136.
it's very hard. I mean, you look at the technicality of the throw, just the effectiveness
96.
is always going to be kind of in a position to say, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about.
Does Adam know what he's doing?
Methodical, but easy correct. Easy accurate. He needs a double 10, another step back.
$40.
What a
Henry
chance
Carr,
this is.
40.
This is an open goal.
Getting shown the fourth leg, Henry Coates.
Scores, and it's 3-1. Coates very much on the
Fifth leg,
canvas
Henry to through
with
first.
Wawrzewski
Game on.
overnight, but he could be back in the race if he can win this leg or the next. His leg difference needs a bit of work,
140.
but if he can eat away at Gavlas at the same time as embellishing his own position, boy, is he going to be part of the fold a little bit later on. He's actually got Wawrzewski in his second game of the night, and that's going to be crucial to see who is going to be in the bottom two
58.
come the halfway point of the night.
190.
There you see from that angle, that right shoulder dipping of Henry Coates. It's not as if he's going to do a great deal more of growing. He's 18 years of age now. That might be the biggest smile we've had from Adam
80.
all week.
Just had wind.
He has been struggling with the heat a little bit this week. I thought he
78.
would be very well prepared for the heat this week, considering how hot it gets in Czechia this time of year. It is one of the hottest countries in Europe. He needed every single bit of that, and it still might not be enough.
92.
This is good from Coates.
Extremely impressive, yeah, from Coates. And this could literally just put the league, the table a bit on edge, though, if he's playing this well. Adam Gavlas, yeah, needs all of them. And he might not even get a shot.
Henry Carr, 72.
Yeah, that could be a parting shot in this game.
52.
Turns out,
Henry
he does
Carr,
get a look.
43.
He has not been wiping his brow on that stage this much all week. He really is sweating it up, isn't he? Tops. Nobody said Super Series life is easy.
3. Henry Carr, 20.
This could be a really costly loss for the Czech player. 5-5. Oh, he will not
score.
believe that.
Adam Carr,
He's had
40.
3 darts to win this match, and he might be drawn into a battle all of a sudden.
this double tops to save him. And he's the double 10 now. Methodical, but is he accurate?
Game
He
shoulder
finds
fifth
it.
leg, Adam
And
Gavlas.
this is important. I mean, even though he's so slow, we
Sixth
say
leg, Adam
slow,
through
but he's
first.
more
Game
methodical
on.
because he's keeping his pace. He's not being dictated to by the speed of Henry Coates. He's not. And this can also act for him, but also against him. But it's working for him. And I think that Scott Mitchell does it, where Bobby George told him, you do your 10 seconds, and anybody else that does it quicker, doesn't matter. If it's slower, you'll know
85.
exactly, you'll pick up. But your 10 seconds, just his approach to Yoki, you see that it's virtually 5 seconds before you literally throw, actually more like 8 seconds.
We have had methodical players throughout the history of this sport. John Law wasn't quick. Dennis Priestley was
45.
never quick. Justin Pipe, never quick.
Phil Taylor as well.
Yeah, Phil was not the quickest of players. He was methodical, but he had a lovely rhythm
140.
about him. There was a very interesting match between Gary Anderson and Mensah Suljovic at the 2021 World Championship where things got a little heated. But predominantly when these things come up, it's because the faster player really dislikes playing the more methodical one. It is tough.
98.
Not every game can be Michael van Gerwen and Gary Anderson,
Got you.
where it's a
Rat-a-tat.
whirlwind.
I think there might be a little twist in the wrist, like the slightest wrist twist, and that's why he has that
60.
dot when it doesn't come over, when his complete throw isn't extended with the hand pointing down, but when it comes kind of almost left to right,
135.
that's when the turn is just accentuated.
Now, is Henry going to get this game won, or are we going to be drawn into another 7th leg? Like we said at the start,
100.
this fixture was
Henry Carl,
4-3
43.
in the early hours of the morning. Tops to get it done.
Game
This time he gets it done, and Henry Coates is on the recovery train, getting himself onto 4 points and having a 4-leg swing in the leg difference column as well. He's now within 1 leg of Adam Gavlas and within 2 points, which is very good for him. How good can it be for Dave Wawrzewski when he takes on Martin Thomas next?
Charlie McGuire, 164. $44. $32. Charlie required 120.
Well, 120. He's got a fair, at least 2 handfuls of this. Just needs to stay
60.
there. That's a good shot. Halves his score. Leaves himself on a 2-darter.
$26. Charlie
Time on his
required
side
60.
to become back-to-back singles champion.
$40.
Definitely a couple of nerves in those last 2 darts. But he'll be coming back.
The moment he's been in before this situation. Standing at the back of the
81.
stage,
Charlie
approaching the
required
Yoki with a
20.
chance to win the title.
He did this to win the first title, if you remember.
11.
I think he's gone
Georgia
I think
require
he's gone to
180.
bust it, maybe? The first title he wanted 20, he went 6-7-7 to win it. He had a chance to replicate it again.
Yeah, I get the feeling that was for a bust. And
39.
on that
Charlie
situation there, George
require
Gave wasn't even
9.
able to take it out going to the 18s on that switch.
Yeah, I think he just panicked a bit, but he's done well to get that big one.
Sometimes can be the hardest part.
Georgia requires
This is it.
79.
It's got to be 19s. It's got to be 19s for this shot. Big 20 and a double. He's got the first one. He's going to get a match dart here.
$59. Charlie
Threw the entire
require
body into that
8.
one. Just didn't want to let go of the dart.
No score.
He's given George a chance.
Georgia require 20.
I think George has been quite good on double 10 today.
So many opportunities for Charlie Murphy.
Go
Couldn't get the job
it.
done.
Got in the match! And the Red Dragon
George
Modus
Skate.
Super Series Influencers Champion, George Skate!
Good evening, folks, and welcome back to the Modus Super Series. Time for the second game of the night for Martin Thomas. First one didn't really go to plan, as he lost 4-3 to Charlie Manby, who is currently top of the table on averages over Martin C. Thomas. But Dave Wawrzewski's back. He's getting the late shift today, as he starts in game number 3. That's what Martin Thomas had last night. And Wazzy knows exactly what he needs to do against Martin right here. He needs to get off to a very fast start. 48 years of age, from Plumstead without the B. And a 5-time weekly finalist. He would love to make it 6, but he has got the most work to do here tonight. And maybe that's why he's going on the stage with a little bit of relaxation, because he's very much behind the 8 ball and not expected to get through. But it is possible if he can run the card tonight. 4 wins would get him through. That's a fact. If he can win 3 out of 4,
through first.
it is very much up for debate.
Game on.
Martin Thomas coming off from a 4-3 defeat from Charlie Manby. This
60.
is David's first game of the night, so I think a lot of the focus will be on David.
83.
Martin already felt the heat on the stage, and he'll be in a settled mood because he knows he just needs to win 2 games to qualify.
One of them, folks.
David has it all to do, and I think going into a game like this, it's kind of
60.
even at a double disadvantage here, if there is such a thing.
I think Wazzy's league position of 5th overnight was fair,
60.
because he did have the lowest average of anybody by a good 9 points. But did struggle a little
100.
bit wearing glasses last night. He's decided to leave them on the mantle tonight, and he's just going to try and play organically. He did have 33% in his
100.
doubles, which sometimes is good enough, but last night he didn't get enough chances. Only 18 darts at a double. I get the feeling he
100.
needs to get about
Matthew
20
Carwood,
more here tonight.
41.
Martin already on the finish. First to answer.
50. David Carwood,
And he's 50
58.
there. So 91 if he returns. David needed a treble in the beginning, but can sit it up and put the 91 under pressure.
134.
What
Matthew
a
Carwood,
last
91.
start there. So 91 needs to go, or it will be the break of throw. But this tops has left or put Martin Thomas in great positions before. And this
51.
time, it's not to
David Carr,
be.
24.
Double 6.
18.
Not meant
Matthew
to be
Carr, 40.
either. So chances for Wazzy not taken. Thomas loves tops. Last night we were calling him the tank.
Getting shot on the first leg, Martin Thomas.
Insert train remark. Choo-choo.
Second leg, David to throw first. Game on.
As you can tell there, it's quite hot up there, wiping the brow.
You know what his favourite flavour of ice cream is, don't you, Thomas? Caramel choo-choo.
It's a very famous brand as well.
125.
I think I've stumbled upon something quite profound, actually. I think if Dave
45.
Wawrzewski was a Simpsons character, he'd be more Sislak. Because they both have Polish names.
Yeah, if I was here at the
45.
start, I don't think I would have been able to pronounce that surname.
100.
Do you know which Simpsons character Charlie Manby would be? Very simple. He'd be Bumblebee Man. Because he's a man-bee.
59.
Let me just get rid of this tumbleweed.
Paulie's here all weekend. And that is what you get with Paul Nicholson. The man is
80.
Is an enigma.
That's the second best joke I've told all week.
135.
Yes? No.
95.
Yes. Very nice. You take that every day of the week, including on Sundays when we don't even play here. Well, we do sometimes. Not this week. The lights on the stage will take
85.
a breather ahead of Women's Week 4
40.
from Monday morning. Tops for Wazzy. Oh
30.
no, 6
Matthew
starts at a
Carr,
double and he hasn't hit
107.
one. He might be 2-0 down.
Ton topper, yeah. Definitely 10 tops.
87. David Carr,
Thomas.
10.
Martin Thomas missing tops, and that is how crucial will that be, though?
Game shot
What
on
a
the
second
leg,
dart
David
following the
Wawrzewski.
first one, and that Paul is the perfect
Third leg,
marker.
Marty to throw first. Game on.
But on double five, sometimes it can bounce into the 5 and cause a lot of trouble. But for Wazzy there, that was just to settle it.
100.
Yeah, last night he was using a very sharp, moulded white kite flight. After
100.
3 games, he decided, I don't think they're working. So he decided to go back to his old trusty pink kite flights, which are foldable.
100.
There are lots of people who are testing new bits of kit at the minute. But if you find something that works,
45.
don't change.
I have a different opinion about that.
By all means.
I say
85.
that experiment with everything, but give it your all. Don't just try and go, it's expected to go
100.
immediately correct. Because sometimes, like molded flights, you might have to just change your point of release slightly. But the accuracy you'll achieve with it, phenomenal. Just like that, Martin Thomas shows you that the accuracy that he can achieve is phenomenal. And what a little,
140.
this is like a tennis match, a little rally.
Oh,
shot on the
now.
third leg, Marty
That
Thomas.
is a passing shot. Because Martin has passed David in the leg count.
Fourth leg, David to throw first. Game on.
You can see what Martin is doing tonight. Between legs, he's doing what the tennis players
85.
What, rub the balls?
Oh, we are going to have
78.
new balls on Saturday night. Because we're going to be doing the draw live on the broadcast for the Champion of Champions event, which takes place next week here at the Modus Super Series.
58.
Myself and yourself, Devon, we will be drawing the numbers out with Henry Deacon to see who plays who.
100.
I almost think that that's going to be one of the most viewed Modus series events, because those are all like
58.
it's heroes of many players and just so much talent in abundance.
Yeah, there are plenty of players who have played here before, but I think it is fair to say that Ross
45.
Montgomery coming here as the senior world champion, he'll be a very proud man. But Raymond van Barneveld making his debut here
41.
at the Live Lounge. That will be interesting.
He will love it, yeah. This is the perfect throw, and he will definitely love it.
140.
Martin loves that. Oh no, it's that dreaded 138 again, which unfortunately for Darren Johnson this afternoon
95.
was bust.
Madhuka 138.
Could have cost him a Saturday night.
It did cost him a Saturday night, but another treble, 19-year. Oh, what a dart. 24 left, double 12.
114. David
Martin
Carwood
Thomas
64.
absolutely showing his experience and edging so close to
128.
getting
Madhuka
3-1 ahead
24.
now, and will throw for 4-1 if he can check out the double six.
Getting shown the
What
fourth leg, Manny
a
Thomas.
finish. The man is finishing
Fifth leg,
excellently
Manny to
tonight.
first. Game on.
His first game against Manby was not a bad. Manby kind of just dominated scoring. He was making sure that he's finding himself in great positions. But now you can just see the reason why he was on top of the table. And he will
58.
go back to top of the table after this game if he gets to 4 first. But David has a lot to say about that.
41.
It's not very often that we could have a Saturday night in any week with
60.
only one English player in the lineup. That could happen in the next 24 hours because we've got 2 Irish players, 1 Northern Irish winner in Group A. Now, if Martin Thomas gets through, which is looking extremely likely the way he's playing, if Gavlas
100.
gets through, there'd have to be one of Manby, Coates and Wawrzewski to be the sole English player in Saturday night.
60.
We are reliably informed that maybe this crowd is going to be the most Irish crowd we've ever had. That could be fun.
134.
That is a really good visit down south. Setting up a match-winning chance.
60. Matthew
Take
Carwood
this out.
49.
Or win by 4 legs to 1 in the next visit. And he will be back at the top of the table, having played one more game than everybody
45.
else.
David Carwood 160.
But very much in control of his own destiny.
Like we said at the top of the show, 10 points would see him go through.
84.
At this point in time,
Manduka
he might
104.
just register 8 points first off.
Tops.
84. David
He'll
Carr
have to wait.
76.
He might be halted. Double 4. That is a beautiful dart from Wazzy.
Okay.
Hanging on for dear life. This man is full of pride and grit, and he showed it right there. Ask yourself that question. If you're in that position, you're 3-1 down, first to 4. Can you hit that double when you need
100.
to stop your opponent from defeating you? Seeing it is one thing, doing it is another.
59.
Take some real belief as well, and just knowing how good Martin Thomas is on the double, on the outer ring.
100.
Was he, for me, is playing really steady. I mean, yesterday's average could have been just an equipment issue. You did say that he played
60.
with spectacles on as well, so I mean that changed. We've seen Peter Wright put them on and take them off and play a lot better without them.
60.
And if you're used to him, great. If you're not, this is not the place to be experimenting.
Yeah, Wazzy was saying a little bit earlier that
60.
he has been having a little bit of trouble with his sight recently. He doesn't want it to take him away from the sport of darts, but he's trying to figure something out at the minute.
140.
We're all mortal beings. things are going to change day in, day out. We just have to roll with the punches.
92.
A bit like
David Carr, 101.
having one dart to win the game, and then all of a sudden, it's 3-3. Just checking with the ref. That's what he's there for. And that's what that is for as well. It's 3-3, and we love a long game here today.
So the final leg, Martin.
Second consecutive game for Martin Thomas to go all the way. Does he win this one? If he doesn't, we're going to have 3
100.
players on 6 points and 2 on 4 points. You know what I'm going to say next, Devin? Here we go
45.
again.
It's just, I think week 6 is all about drama. And you saw that in the Group A, where Neil Duff and Adam Gavlas played to the last leg, and that's where it was decided, where Adam Gavlas was leading ahead. But what a 180 there from Wawzy. Wawzy's on fire, ladies and gentlemen. And so is Martin Thomas.
140.
This is a fantastic match.
Do you know what Wawzy means in Newcastle? It's actually a question. That's how Geordie would say, was he?
100.
Was he?
Matthew Carr, 140.
Was he on fire?
Wawzy's fire might be out.
95.
Because Thomas is well positioned to win this last leg in 5 visits.
43.
Oh no,
Matthew
he was
Carr,
dreaming
45.
of leaving 76, and now he's north of 130. This could be a critical blow. Beautifully taken from Thomas. It's a 14-darter to win the match. Wawrzewski really did test him by taking him all the way, but Thomas was up for the fight. It was a tight one in the end, but Thomas does go back to the top of the table, knowing that one more win from his 2 remaining games will see him through to Saturday for a 5th time. 4-3 win, and now it's time for Gavlas against Manby again. Welcome to Game 4, as we are live on Pluto TV once again. And it's going to be maybe the last instalment of the Gavlas Manby rivalry of Week 6. But if things go according to plan for these two, they're thinking that maybe they're on a collision course on Saturday night as well. This is game number 5. It is currently 3-1 to Gavlas, including that 4-2 victory on Thursday evening, which just about bridged Friday morning.
First leg, Adam to through first.
So here we
Game
go.
on.
This is a game that could see Gavlas on to 8 points with Martin Thomas. It could also see Manby on 8 points with Martin Thomas. This is a fixture that could give the bottom two nightmares, because there's nothing they can do about this result. They just have to sit, wait for the result, and then do what they can when they come back in the next game, because it will be Wawrzewski against Coates.
This might be a different game, though, because Charlie Manby does have a bit of a
125.
almost a rhythmic kind of throw. Step to the hockey, and Adam Gavlas measured, methodical. Some players might call him slow. He'll call
60.
himself almost purposeful in his approach.
I like that word, purposeful. It's another word for slow.
I try to avoid it.
He's slow. Come on, let's be honest. He's a slow player. There's nothing wrong with it. He's got his own style.
96.
He is a great player.
Give us one of your better words for slow, though.
You've already used methodical. Deliberate.
He's deliberate. I like that. I prefer that than slow, because slow means it's just, just no thought into it. But that's what he does, though.
He's not Terry Down, is he? From the 80s, when Jockey Wilson was playing the guy with the mullet. He took about 60 seconds for 3 darts. Adam's not that
62.
bad.
Charlie O'Carr, 164.
Yeah, but considering today's standards, he is deliberate.
$64.
There's a trimming job there from Charlie Manby. Gavlas would be very happy to take this one away before Charlie causes any more havoc. That's a nice single. The flight is out of the way.
38.
Could have actually used that
Charlie
flight as a
O'Carr,
marker
100.
to try and nestle it into the tops. That's something that Luke Humphreys does very well. But Manby is looking at 60 for double 10.
90. Adam O'Carr, 40.
That would have been 16 ton-plus checkouts, which is an incredible amount. But double tops now to hold throw. 16 darts, 17 darts now, double 10. Finds the double 10, and that was threatened early on
Second leg,
by
Charlie
Charlie Manby. And
game on.
Adam Gavlas is just going about. He's not even bothered by anything. He's not worried how quick Charlie is, what he's doing, and I think it will affect Charlie more than it's going to affect Adam.
It really does.
140.
I like that bit of respect there from Manby. I'm just going to stand back and let you call it. Wouldn't get that in tennis, would you? Or football. Let's face it, those players harassing referees.
140.
We don't stand for that in darts. Bruno Fernandes. Yeah, you do whatever you want. Charlie Manby steps away from the referee. That's what respect
44.
is.
Rugby as well, they do step away and stand with these big forwards, and the referee might be 1.6 meters tall, and they stand behind the back, and you have to listen.
Yeah, bring back Pierluigi Collina. Nobody messed with him.
It's just the eyes.
Oh, he would stare right through you like General Zod.
60.
We came up with a nickname for Adam Gavlas this week, by the way. Did you hear about it? Call him Stacy.
58.
Stacey is Gav's lass.
Look at that.
That's one for all of you Gavin and Stacey fans.
Gavlas. I don't think he can be quick, not with his throw. Because if one of those elements go incorrect,
134.
it's not going to be as accurate. So I think that kudos to him for sticking to his guns.
I've got a good word for his action. Mechanical.
99.
That is
Adam
exactly
Carr,
what it is.
167.
Staccato. Robotic. But it is accurate, though. And this is going to require him to be really accurate. To break the Manby throw with a 167. He gets the 167 on the bullseye. Adam Gavlas there. Slight little shake of the head.
Game on.
Manby, purely a man in the stands as Adam Gavlas sinks a 10-plus checkout. Manby can't even look. The game's over, mate. It's next leg. It's the robotic, methodical, deliberate Adam Gavlas. Did you like that, Paul?
40.
That was a great finish, wasn't it? Best of the week so far. There's only one way to better it. And I'm going to repeat a statement from yesterday.
58.
I think Charlie Manby is sick of the sight of Adam Gavlas this week. He's been the one player that has caused him more problems than anyone.
It's taken his toll. It's the method of Adam Gavlas. Charlie Manby doesn't know what he should do. Should he do cartwheels, backflips? Should he do yoga poses? Adam Gavlas just grinding him down, and you can tell. And this is what happens with the new players. They're used to the rat-a-tat. And
98.
It's players like Adam Gavlas that is almost zombie-like. Charlie Manby cannot watch. And this, I remember Eric Brister telling me, just try and when you're practicing, and you know, because I was playing Justin Pipe, and he says, try when you practice, try and take your time, see what his timing is like, and do it. And I done it. And I took 3 sips of the water every time, and then I'd be ready to throw.
60.
And now it's distracting Manby because he's going straight to the back. You can tell his body, he's dejected. It just has no timing. It just can't wait for the game to be finished.
You know those things that you see at the gym? They look like the punch bags that are made of
60.
very hard materials, and they're like a torso with a head on the top. You give them a bit of a clattering and they never move. I get the feeling that Charlie's going to invest in one of those and put Adam's face on it.
60.
Now, Adam hasn't done anything wrong. It's just a case of every now and again, you are going to play someone who you don't like to play. I didn't like playing Bernd Reuth from Germany. It just didn't interest me in the slightest.
Didn't he?
He was really, really lovely.
And we used to call him Beef Broth, didn't we? I remember him.
58.
What a name as well. But this is the thing, though. This is now an Achilles heel for Charlie Manby. Because anybody playing him, if you're playing quick, all you have to do is slow it down. And
58.
He's going to be doing this. He's going to be kind of subdued.
Well, one way to get into this game is just to give him the touche shot on 167. Might need to hit it as well.
But the question is he prepared, mentally prepared?
130.
I don't think so.
You know, this is more like a pantomime, this game, because it is about the darts, but it's also about what is Charlie doing in the background. Is he invested in the game? Is he going to win?
32.
Oh, yes, he is. Oh, no, he's not. It could be 3-0 Gavlas. He's a juggler. Don't try that at home. Look on the bright side, Charlie. At the end of this game, you might not have to play him ever again. You probably won't want to. Now, can you imagine? Here's another way of looking at it.
What about tomorrow?
Both of them get through. What if this is the final? This could be the final. Then
100.
What does Charlie do? Does he get annoyed? Does he use all of the experience of the week? Does he figure it out? Or does he let it get the better of him?
Does he have sleepless nights because of Adam Gavlas? All he's doing is just
57.
juggling at the back there as Adam Gavlas does what he wants.
Do you know what he's doing when he's tossing that dart from one hand to another? He's channeling his inner cricket umpire. Because they
85.
carry 6 things in their pocket, don't they, to see how many balls are left in an over. There it is. There's another ball gone. And he just wants this to be a no ball.
Charlie just has to figure it out. He just has to figure it out.
100.
Adam Gavlas has figured Charlie out. Another maximum, and he can't believe it. It is tough for Charlie Manby. We know how
84.
good he is. But in his young age, and this is a great thing, and I hope he watches the game back, which he won't, probably. But anybody watching on Charlie's behalf, just tell him that he's going to find players that are slower than him, and he's going to have to find something that centers him on that stage, because he does not know what to do. Somebody hand him a coloring book and some pens.
140.
At least keep him productive.
Now everybody's got a mental vision of Charlie lying on his stomach, feet in the air,
130.
colouring a picture of
Adam
Buffalo or
Gavlas.
something.
Adam Gavlas. This could hurt again. And it would be 4-0.
Yes, this could be a very big leg swing. Predominantly, this is for the 2 points. And the winner would go to 8 points
56.
with Martin Thomas.
Charlie Carr, 102.
Charlie's still in the game. Still in. Double 16. There you go.
Charlie Manby.
There's more legs in this one.
Fifth leg Adam to through first. Game on.
Man's got biceps. Well, he is in the building trade.
That's not biceps. Come on now.
In my world, that's biceps.
Got big hands, though. He does have big hands. I've seen his hands. Now that he says in the buildings, that's...
It must be something to do with that trade, because Jason Lowe from Cradley Heath
59.
in the West Midlands, he's got the biggest hands I've ever seen. It's like shaking hands with a baseball mitt. One of the nicest men I've ever met. Shook hands with him for the first time, and my hand disappeared. It's like, what have you done with my hand, Jason? Then he gave it back to me. I thought, oh, feels a bit smaller now.
Yeah, I think it's just how they obviously stretch and grab the
42.
bricks and all of the cement and just continuously everything with the hand.
Yeah, that is a very popular day job for dart players. Bricklayer.
98.
Simon Whitlock was a bricklayer.
Wow. He's got bricklayer tattooed on his... Like everybody else got barbed wire and tribal tattoo. He's got a row of bricks. Charlie's done with the water.
Well, Charlie Manby is now a sommelier of Portsmouth water. Oh, that I'm getting hint
121.
of slowness.
Excuse the laughter, but it is funny
100.
just to see all his antics, and I'm sure that we could have a montage of Charlie Manby and Adam Gavlas, and you'd see.
Oh, he's run out.
You might just steal Adam Gavlas's water. Watergate all over.
No, we can't do that again.
Watergate all over.
And the funny thing is, Gavlas hasn't touched it.
134.
He's got all of his water left. He hasn't got all of his badges, though.
That's his age.
What else is going to happen in this fixture?
Do not ask. Please do not ask. It might go back to 3-all.
Do you know what? I think we might be 2 minutes away from a two-footed challenge.
134. Advocar 107.
But Charlie Manby's still in the game, though.
I can't believe it. Someone's nicked all me water.
47.
This is generally one of the
Charlie
most
O'Connor,
entertaining
110.
games I've ever seen at the Modus Super Series. And Charlie Manby deserves an Oscar, especially if he hits this. There's
Game shown
more
the
coming
fifth leg,
our way.
Charlie
We
Manby.
can't get enough of it.
6-leg Charlie.
And the
through
funny
first.
thing is,
Game on.
Gavlas has seen absolutely none of it because he's been so focused on the board. What's been happening behind him has been like watching Anna Karenina at the Chichester Theatre.
180.
Charlie Manby can do it all. Can play around, can lose focus. And I think this is the modern day player. Back in the day, it always used to be about focus, about
60.
wanting to win. Charlie Manby, just playful nature. I could go for a 9. Could be on 9.
140.
Well, if we'd said to him, if he hits a 9 darter, we'll get him another glass of water, he probably would have hit it.
I think he's trying to get, he's contemplating whether the Watergate saga is going to happen. Just sharing half of the water. Adam Gavlas does not blink between throws. That is impressive.
140.
Do you blink when you throw?
Yeah. Always have had. Blinked once in between
90.
each dart.
Charlie Manby doesn't blink either. Might be just a new standard for young players.
Charlie is running out of things to do. Apart from the fact that he was 3-0 down and staring at 4-0, but has decided to make this a lot more interesting. The funny thing is, he's been in the
51.
background of this
Undercard
game
161.
looking like he wants the game to end. He genuinely doesn't want it to end. Unless he wins by 4 legs to 3. Oh, stare down. It's a stare down.
$89.
Well, is it going to be
Charlie
3-3?
O'Connor, 40.
Double 10.
Game
It
shown the
is
six-leg Charlie
3-3.
Manby.
This game has had a little bit of everything.
7th and final leg. Adam to third first. Game on.
Gavlas averaging 95.89. Manby 92.9. The doubles have been excellent. It's nice to see him smiling, actually, because at one point in this game, I thought he was ready to just walk away from it.
42.
Charlie Manby shows exactly the new kind of breed of player. Can just switch it on as soon as they touch the hockey.
140.
Not that. Back in the day, there used to be an element of fear in young players when they're playing on a big stage. Now they embrace it. And he's one of those players that's coming through. Him, Henry Coates, Luke Littler, all of these young players coming through and just delivering on demand. And that's why the sport is on the up, because the talent pool, the depth of talent is not on the
140.
on the older players or more matured players. It's coming from grassroots level now, and it's just so phenomenal to see.
Yeah, first player ever to beat Luke Littler at the UK Open was Adam Gavlas.
100.
By 10 legs to 9, it was an absolute rip-roarer of a game. Both averaged in 3 figures. Don't say that Adam can't mix it with the best. Charlie's got himself a 1-dart lead here. He might be in position to win this one, to vault his way
97.
up the table with Martin Thomas. They were in a tie after their game.
180.
They might be in a tie again. Charlie has found great form towards the end. And that's the biggest reaction we've seen from him all week to set up this match-winning chance for an 11 or 12 darter.
This is also the opportunity for Charlie to book his place
134.
into Saturday
Charlie
as well.
O'Connor, 81.
Only 81 points away now.
He's gone for treble 13. That was a bit of a gamble.
21.
That has
Adam
not
O'Connor,
gone well.
88.
Gavlas has done really well to leave 88. Will Manby be denied at the final furlong? These two shots are very important for both players. He slips. He recovers.
70.
He might not win now.
60.
He's at a match start. Charlie should get 2. Charlie wins
Charlie Manby.
from 3-0 down. He looked beaten, but he's not beaten. Incredible stuff. He points to the head and he said, maybe that's how I won the match. He went through all of his water, he went through all of his lives, and he used every single dart to perfection towards the end. He had to miss, had to dodge a match dart in the end from Adam Gavlas, but he does win by 4 legs to 3.
Are you ready to lift that trophy, Darius? Yes. Let's do it then. Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Lewandowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy time. So receive the trophy. £25,000. The new Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And one more time, the 8th Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new Modus Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison. And one more time, the 7th Modus Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison.
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 Modus Super Series champion, Scott Taylor?
One more time, your new Modus Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McEwen.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series champion, retaining his title, the Nuke, Luke Littler!
Welcome to the 5th game. After what we've seen tonight so far, which is almost the maximum legs that we could potentially see, we have just seen a miracle comeback from Charlie Manby. 3-0 down, but wins by 4 legs to 3. So he's now on 8 points with Martin Thomas. Gavlas will stay on 6.
First leg, David, you
and
throw
6
first.
points is
Game
the
on.
target now for Henry Coates if he can beat Dave Wawrzewski. But if Wawrzewski can find a win here against Coates, both of these players will only be
41.
2 points behind Gavlas, who is now a little bit vulnerable at 3rd in the table.
95.
And you feel as though the way David played before this was fantastic. And I mean, you can make an argument for both players to kind of get
140.
points in this game. Only one's going to step away with the 2 points. For Henry Coates, it will be valuable.
42.
For David as well. 'Cause Henry both have a loss for the night so far. And the Adam Gavlas
140.
game, I mean, the way in which he played early on, leading 3-0, he was fantastic, unstoppable. The playful nature of
140.
Manby kind of won him the game, and when it got to 3-all, he switched on, and 2 big visits certainly put him in the commanding
140.
lead. I think that we'll have a twist in the tail here.
60.
Oh, this is a really good start from David Wawrzewski. It does have an end product as well. Great first leg.
Second leg, Henry to throw first. Game on.
I think
93.
Wazzy was employing the Luke Humphreys technique of drinking water right there. If you're not up to speed on that one, it's because sometimes in hot
100.
conditions, a cold glass of water
85.
can have condensation on the outside of the glass. And dart players are very fiddly when it comes to how their hands feel. So Wazzy decided, forget about handling it. I'll just
98.
do the old pecking bird trick. Lean over and take a little bit without the hands.
Considering that he licks his fingers all the time. as well.
95.
Dart players are funny creatures. You know this, Devon. Well, I did when Luke Humphreys actually started to
100.
employ this at a European Tour event recently. I went to the tournament director, who at that tournament was
60.
Keith Bisbee from North Tyneside. I said, is there anything against a player requesting a straw?
85.
Because if they don't want to touch the glass for that reason, is there anything in the rule book that states that they can't request an implement to drink their stage
100.
water?
Henry Carr 125.
And he was stumped. He didn't know, but he did check. There's nothing against it.
45.
Can
David
I have an
Carr
umbrella as well,
161.
You can't hear it, but I've just given him a bit of a scowl.
60. Henry Carr 80.
But yeah, I get that. I do get that. Because when you feel it, it just doesn't feel great. But Henry Coates feeling great,
40.
yeah.
David Carr 101.
And that top's just given an opportunity to hold through. David now needs a ton plus. Double 12.
77. Henry
Lets
Carr
it fly,
40.
and it does not hit the target. So 90
He's
darts
showing
a
the
year
second
for
leg,
Henry
Henry
Coates to
Coates.
hold throw. Now he has to break the David
Another
throw
David
to
to throw
actually win the
first. Game
match.
on.
So it's all on Henry's shoulders. David playing a solid game and just
60.
starting out really good with all the little, removing the glasses, changing the flights, just going to what he knows. But Henry Coates
140.
doing what he does best, is scoring machine.
You got a favourite dart shirt in darts,
100.
Devon? Aside from your own, of course. Because this Wazzy's on fire shirt is very him. Couldn't possibly
100.
be anybody else. But have you got any dart shirts that you think, I'd love one of those?
I've got one of Stowe Bunce, and Stowe's designs are really
41.
good. When he was at the Modus Super Series, and we played that week, he had some really stunning ones, and I
91.
got one at home, really great one. I think the character was the nightmare. You know the character with the
The Neon Nightmare.
yeah,
Carr
oh,
170.
beautiful, lovely. So Stowe Bunce and his design team do some great stuff. Flight Faction does some great stuff
56.
as well. Who's your one?
You do know that every Stowe Bunch shirt, there's only one of them.
Oh,
It's
I heard
a
that.
one of one.
I've heard that, yeah.
125.
So I should maybe
Henry
just
Carr,
frame that.
114.
Yeah, you should, because nobody else will have one.
It does fit me nicely, though.
This fits.
74.
Oh, it's
David
just a
Carr,
little
94.
bit too high. Needs to be a bit more tailored.
I remember you were commentating on that, and you were talking about this tight end.
54. Henry Carr, 40.
Yes, that's because of the position on the NFL field, of course.
We'll leave it at that.
20.
Oh, he kicks
David
it, but
Carr,
it's not
40.
good. That's
He
good.
saw the third
It's a
leg,
2-1
David
lead for Wazzy.
Wawrzewski.
Wazzy's on fire.
Fourth leg,
Henry
Henry to
Coates
third
is
first.
terrified.
Game
Yeah, I think pound for pound, Stowe Bunce is right up there with shirt
on.
design.
97.
And as a general image. I love Stowe's brand of this sport. We wish him well this weekend, of course, in
100.
New York, because the Eurostarts Masters and the North American Championship is this weekend.
Okay.
It will be
100.
a fabulous occasion. Good luck to everybody playing in that tournament at MSG in New York.
I think I might pull out the Stowe Bunch shirt for the
100.
weekend then. Henry Coates needs to make sure that he's
96.
good on his throw, but he needs to be excellent on one of David's throws just to get ahead. Because the way in which David is throwing,
140.
he's want to make sure that he adds points onto his tally.
140.
I do beg your pardon,
David
it's actually
Carr,
next weekend, New York.
161.
It's not this weekend. This could be a 161.
136.
Could have been the
Henry Carr,
second
68.
160 plus checkout of the night. Oh, has that missed the board?
32.
Not
David
the first
Carr,
time I said this in
25.
this building. Oh, Henry.
For different reasons, of course, but
Getting
what
shot
a
on the
finish
fourth leg,
there by
David
David.
Wawrzewski.
A missed opportunity from Henry Coates, opting for the
Fifth leg,
treble
David is
12,
first.
missing the big 20, opening the
Game
door
on.
for David. And Wazzy's on fire.
He certainly is.
100.
I just want to say congratulations to everybody who qualified through the PDC Tour Card Holder qualifiers today for
45.
not just the Baltic Sea Darts Open, but also the Flanders Darts Trophy. And last year's finalist, Ricardo Pietreczko,
100.
he headlined the qualifiers for Belgium. Once again, Leon Weber, Ricardo Pietreczko, Steve
87.
Lennon, Mensa Martin Lukman, Jeffrey de Graaf, Callan Rids, who had a very good day. He qualified twice. Karol Sedlacek, Ian White, who qualified twice.
83.
And Christian Kist. They are going to Antwerp at the end of August. But the week before that tournament,
95.
we will be having a very special night here. Our Champions Night. And that's where everybody wants to be
60.
in the middle of August. That's for sure. If David's going to make it there, he needs to mount a bit of a
140.
comeback
David Carr,
in this
158.
table. Surely it can start here.
100.
That's a
Henry
great
Carr,
visit.
134.
Forces Coates to take this out. He could have.
94. David Carr, 58.
Match point was he? Is he?
38.
Was
Henry
he is
Carr,
not
40.
winning this game by 4 legs to 1.
Getting shot on the fifth leg, Henry Cole.
He most definitely isn't, because Coates has got a second leg.
Sixth leg,
It's going to
Henry
be
to
another
the
game that
first.
goes
Game
very,
on.
very long.
We had the 4-2 combo in Group C.
57.
Seems like we have the 4-3 combo in Group B. But these are tasty affairs. This is more
43.
dramatic.
I've got a challenge for you, Devon, and for everybody at home. When Henry Deacon is here, he likes to have a tungsten teaser. I'm more of a playlists kind of guy. How about, if you're watching this live on Pluto TV,
140.
I want you to give us a 3-track playlist that is attributing to late night
100.
darts action here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. And I'm going to start you off with In the Midnight Hour by The Commitments. And I've gone for an Irish
140.
band because of what's happening in this series. Lead vocals by Andrew Strong
100.
from that classic
Henry Carr,
early 90s
164.
movie The Commitments, one of the greatest movies ever made. 95 left. He is correct. That is a really good plan.
119.
For a second there, I thought he was going to try and go for the 19s, but the second bull is a beautiful play.
You stumped me with
100.
with a
Henry
song
Carr's
playlist.
45.
I just literally tried to Google something and it didn't work. But we will get Henry Coates getting tops here.
He's on the six
and
leg,
getting
Henry
us to another 4-3 for tonight.
Some of the final leg, David is through first.
So
Game
far,
on.
we've had 5 matches. 4 of them went all the way. Maximum legs,
30.
maximum entertainment. Stream now, pay never.
That was a song, wasn't it? All the Way. That was Frank Sinatra.
60.
That could go on the playlist.
Not my way, no.
Oh, no.
$100.
This is well before Henry's time. He would say Frank who?
140.
Henry, commanding lead so far and just finding the treble with ease.
41.
Yesterday he had challenges on the outer ring. Today, not so much. So he's cast away those demons.
60.
Both players playing fantastically well, yeah, and steadying it on. Wazzy. This is the Wazzy throw. Wazzy in the match.
Well, Wazzy's going to be eliminated pretty much. If he loses this leg, he would be 4 points behind Coates with 2 games to play. He'd be 4 points behind Gavlas as well. And there are plenty of points to be earned head-to-head above
85.
him.
Henry
So it
Carr,
looks
61.
as if the curtain is closing on week 6 for Wazzy.
41.
Henry will have to wait to see if he is on 4 points at the halfway point of the night, just like Charlie Manby.
81. Henry Carr, 20.
Double 10 to finish the game with a break. Well,
15.
Devin Peterson said it.
Henry
There might
Carr,
be a twist in the
104.
tail after all. One dart for the match. Double 16. This is a survival dart.
88.
It misses
Henry
the
Carr's
target.
5.
Oh, no. Oh.
No score.
I was just going to say,
David
yes,
Carr,
that
16.
could have been the ultimate marker to win the match. The match has been won, but it's been taken by Wazzy. Well, quite frankly, we are pretty much as you were from the start of the night. 8 points Manby, 8 points Thomas, and plenty of people behind who might be about to nick that 3rd spot. Wawrzewski wins by 4 legs to 3 as we reach the halfway point.
Charlie McGuire, 164. 44. 32. Charlie required 120.
Well, 120. He's got a at least 2 handfuls at this. Just needs to stay
60.
there. That's a good shot. Halves his score, leaves himself on a 2-darter.
$26. Charlie, you
Time on his
require
side
60.
to become back-to-back singles champion.
$40.
Definitely a couple of nerves in those last 2 darts, but he'll be coming back.
The moment he's been in before this situation. Standing at the back of the stage,
Charlie,
approaching the
required
jockey with a
20.
chance to win the title.
He did this to win the first title, if you remember.
11.
I think he's gone.
Georgia
I think
require
he's gone to
180.
bust it, maybe. The first title he won, he wanted 20. He went 6-7-7 to win it. He had a chance to replicate it again.
Yeah, I get the feeling that was for a bust, and
39.
on that
Charlie,
situation there, George
require
Scaife wasn't even
9.
able to take it out going to the 18s on that switch.
Yeah, I think he just panicked a bit, but he's done well to get that big one.
Sometimes can be the hardest part.
Georgia requires
This is it.
79.
It's got to be 19s. It's got to be 19s for this shot. Big 20 and a double. He's got the first one. He's going to get a match dart here.
$59. Charlie,
Threw
you
the entire
require
body into that
8.
one. Just didn't want to let go of the dart.
No score.
He's given George a chance.
Georgia require 20.
I think George has been quite good on double 10 today.
So many opportunities for Charlie Murphy.
Go
Couldn't get the job
it.
done.
Got in the match. And the Red Dragon
George
Modus
Scaife.
Super Series Influencers Champion, George Scaife.
It's Phil, the power.
Told you this is not a game. Done playing, trying to live up to my name. Cuss them out, they said I changed. They just ain't keep up to pace.
Welcome back to the party of Portsmouth here at the Modus Live Lounge.
This is not a game. Started 15 big dreams, and I keep dreaming. Strategic, I'm not scheming.
Yes, tonight is following in the footsteps of a wonderful Group C. And we are having plenty of fun with 4 threes. I'm sure there are going to be more. Of course there are. Because Martin Thomas will take on Adam Gavlas next. And we still need to see who is going through with 5 games left this evening. Charlie Manby is top, but is in a dead heat in a lot of the metrics with Martin Thomas. The reason why Charlie's top is because of his overall average in this group. Gavlas is still in the top 3, but has been halted after losing game number 4. Coates and Wawrzewski are still in with a chance, and Gavlas plays Thomas now. If he loses to the Welshman, 2 things are going to happen. Gavlas will be vulnerable with 1 game to go, and Thomas will qualify. Thomas will finish his quarter
Looks
tonight
like Martin to
first.
first.
He has Gavlas,
Game
then
on.
he has Coates in game 8. So he has 2 cracks of the whip to get to 10 points and into Saturday for a 5th time. It is that simple. However, Devon, on Wednesday,
85.
Adam Gavlas had 3 games to go. He had 3 cracks of the whip, and he couldn't pull it off.
And I think that just the start of the night, going through Henry Coates, beating him 4-2, and Charlie Manby coming back from behind.
59.
After Adam leading 3-0, you'll feel like in his head, he knows that he's doing nothing wrong. He's just coming up against competent opponents. which is
66.
there's no way to turn in this group. It's just everybody can really throw well.
Is that your way of adding another Irish song to our playlist tonight? In your head. In your head. You called him a zombie earlier.
I did.
45.
Subliminal songs is what we playing. Spotify list. Martin Thomas with a stacker.
140.
Made famous by Phil Taylor. And the term stacker wasn't even invented until the late, the great. You know what I'm talking about.
Sid Waddell.
The big man. He was the one that got me so excited to watch the sport of darts. Commentating, just
43.
a genius.
Absolute nutcase. But in the best possible way. Highly educated. Slightly crazy.
100.
Very, very smart when it came to the English language. History as well. But as Northumbrian as you could possibly be. His books are fabulous to read.
It's in the water. It has to be in the water.
It's in the water.
57.
Water.
Martin Carr,
Yeah, but he
110.
created the stacker almost.
He genuinely did. He did a whole thing about stacking techniques.
54.
Under stacker.
You'd make a pretty good Geordie, I think, Devon.
If I was born there, definitely. Don't think I'd have support Newcastle, though. That's the only tough part.
All right, you and I don't get along anymore then.
Hey.
60.
Back in the
Martin
day,
Carr,
Newcastle used to be
56.
amazing. Now they're just
I think we should change the subject. How about tops? Come on, Martin, help me out. Help yourself out.
36.
Gavlas might be feeling bruised after what's happened here tonight. He is, at the halfway point, the only person who has not won a game.
I think he might be having a hangover of the Wednesday, where he could have gone through, and now tonight is exactly the same thing. Where it's the night that
20.
counts. It's the day that counts, and he's not coming up to kind of serve out the goods. And it might be just almost just sticking its head out. He'll throw off.
No
and
score.
Adam Gavlas has taken a 10 plus checkout. 160 on the bull against Manby. 140, yeah. He's not going to go. The man is slightly a bit shiny on that stage. Just, it might be heat, might be
51.
pressure, might be poke.
Matthew Carr, 20.
Probably both. Back for tens. Back for fives. Oh.
16.
Well, he's had
89.
2 visits to take care of 20 points. And hasn't had a shot on dart 3 either time. Bullseye for Gavlas.
64.
Never
Matthew
online,
Carr,
really.
4.
Just a little bit left of target. This is going to be one of the worst legs of the night. He was leaning into that shot.
Carr, 25.
And he may be letting this one go. Is this going to be the first double hit on Saturday?
Game show on the first leg.
It isn't,
Adam Gavlas.
because it's not midnight yet. It is 1-0 to
Second leg, Adam
Gavlas.
first. Game on.
So in the next leg, we will see our first double on Saturday. And as it goes to midnight, welcome to Saturday, which will see the 6th player into the Champions Week in August. And depending on the climate, of course, in August, it will be very,
31.
very warm here that night. This place will be packed. And if you want to be here, you want to be quick.
85.
Go to dartshop.tv, where you can get your tickets for the Champion of Champions next week, including the opportunity to have a bit of a natter with legends Trina Gulliver and Phil Taylor next weekend. But if you want to be here for the Champions Night
59.
in the middle of August, plan ahead. Otherwise, if you keep leaving it, you will be disappointed. That is the hottest ticket in Portsmouth sport
96.
this summer.
I actually just realised that I'll be playing in the series as well. I think.
One of them, 40.
Just looking around the commentary box, I think I can see somebody letting a cat out of a bag.
$60.
Might be a false alarm, that.
I don't think Martin is as bothered about the pace of this game as Charlie Manby was.
$101.
That's really smart from Gavlas. Use of the 25 to make sure he's got to finish, because he's expecting Thomas to leave on himself, which he does.
140. 170.
Thomas's game has just improved all the time, hasn't it? He's just such a prolific scorer, consistent, just jabbing. The 170 is not going to go. Will he leave it handy? Will it be 110 or 70 left?
60.
It's going to be a miss,
Matthew
a
Carr,
trebless visit.
120.
That's not going to give him any advantage. But that, Owen Binks tearing his hair out, because 120, you do
80.
not go big
Abdul
five
Karim,
first.
110.
You know what he's like. He likes to be right all the time as well, Owen. Not fond of him.
No, you don't want a 7 on 110. If you're going to miss, you miss right. Treble 3, single
34.
3, 19,
Matthew
treble
Carr,
19. They all
40.
leave possibilities with 2 darts.
Getting shown the second leg, Martin Thomas.
As soon as he missed, Martin Thomas was licking his chops.
Third leg, Martin.
And if he wins this week,
game on.
he'll go back to Aberystwyth, and I'm sure lunch will be lamb chops. They love a bit of lamb in Wales.
180.
That's not a rare bit. Anything but rare.
I think this could be back-to-back, yeah. Just how it's positioned, you can just tell. Adam Gavlas.
180.
What a throw. You said robotic. No, you said methodical. Man's robotic. He could score for fun and just...
60.
It's like a photocopy machine. Just press the button. Repeat. Repeat.
The way his facial expressions work and the way he plays the game, he might as well be a Terminator. But there's only one reason why he's not a Terminator. Sent back from the future to ruin
60.
the life and times of these guys. Terminators don't sweat.
Maybe it's an upgraded model, you know?
Oh, maybe he is.
140.
And contrary to popular opinion, not all Terminators are from Austria. The most recent one was Mexican.
Terminator.
Oh, yeah. Dark Fate.
140.
The Terminator was Mexican.
21.
At least the body he took was.
$38.
Would have been funny if the Terminator was Welsh. I'll be back, see?
I'll see you in a minute now.
I'll see you now in a minute. That's a... Oh, please make that happen.
39.
I implore James Cameron to make that happen.
83.
I want a Welsh Terminator.
We're looking at him right now, and it's Martin Thomas. It's the Welsh Terminator. Needs the bullseye.
58.
He misses the bullseye.
82.
Adam Gavlas now 82 to break the Martin Thomas throw again.
Bingo. Right in the middle. Can he see enough?
50.
Laser sighted,
Matthew Carr,
but misses the
25.
target. Double 12. That was right on line.
13.
Oh, he's edged it
Out of the
twice.
car, 32.
That was to get within 2 legs of Saturday night. The flight isn't in the way.
24.
He's
Martin
making
Ricard,
the kind
12.
of mistakes that he did make on Wednesday afternoon.
Getting shown
And
the
he's
third
paid
leg,
the
Martin
price.
Thomas.
You know, for a guy,
Fourth
Martin
leg Adam to third
Thomas's
first.
stature,
Game on.
he's probably 1.5 meters tall, 1.55. But he does like double tops. For gentlemen his stature and height, you'd feel as though double 10 and 16 would be perfect.
Think about this all the time. Robert Thornton. Not tall, loves tops.
125.
Darren Webster loves tops. Martin Thomas loves tops. There's definitely something in that.
125.
Gowan Price loves tops, 24s.
Yeah, he's not the tallest. I think he's only about 5'8".
What's that, 1.54 meters?
I don't know. I'm old school. Feet and inches.
Another maximum year for Adam Gavlas. Little
140.
snatch there, just pulled it. Feel as though Martin Thomas now just needs to find 2 trebles here. Single treble will still keep him on the dance
60.
floor. Trebleless visit will hurt him because Adam Gavlas on throw has the advantage. So he can make this a level game. And we might go the distance again. Paul's excited. You can tell.
97.
It's actually a movie, that, isn't it? Going the Distance. Justin Long, Drew Barrymore. Good movie. Not a serious film.
58. Out of the car, 139.
But this is serious. Serious business, serious dollars. And the opportunity of getting some serious
59.
success in less than 24 hours.
$43.
He should
Out of
really
the car,
move to the
80.
18s there. 94 would have left 164. Gavlas has been put through the ringer tonight, hasn't he? He's starting to feel like the proverbial lemon. He's been squeezed.
40.
And look on the bright side. That landing on the floor was better than landing in the 20.
When you said lemon, I thought it was because he looked sour, but when you said squeeze, I understood the
140. Out of the car,
recovery
40.
there. But double tops now for the methodical Adam Gavlas to hold throw. Needs to drop a little bit down. If he does not get there, 75 certainly. There's an
20.
opportunity for Martin
Martin
Thomas
Ricard,
now
75.
to break the Adam Gavlas throw. Missed mistakes. Will he go 36-36?
He went for tops for double 16.
That's weird.
That's a little
35.
different,
Out of the car, 20.
but it should have been easier. This game is tough. It is hard work for both players. Playing late is hard. Playing late in these conditions is tougher. Under this pressure, it makes it even harder. Can Gavlas find the target to make it 2-2?
10.
He can't.
Martin Ricard, 40.
He's letting himself down on the doubles and opening the door for Thomas,
Getting
who
shown
was
the
very
fourth
close
leg,
to being the
Martin
first
Thomas.
person through. I go
Fifth
back
leg,
to one of
Manby
the
to
most
first.
important statements that you can
Game on.
remember as a pro dart player. If they do not hit, I will. It's the last 2 words that are the most important. It's
61.
a positive reinforced statement. I will. Not I hope. Not I might. I will. When we do interviews here, Devon, we talk to these players and there's a lot of, well, I hope I qualify.
180.
What about saying, I'm going to? It's a great maximum from Gavlas, that one. It was a tiny little tremor away from being about 60 points instead of 180. Something's clicked.
180.
In the best possible way.
We've seen Jonathan Platt go 7 perfect. First game on
out of the car,
at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Is it Adam Galwas' turn?
The shot is on. But he does not get dart number 8.
89.
It's a brilliant kick from Gavlas. Maybe he plays better when the right side of his collar's up. He might be the new Eric Cantona of darts.
100. Out of the car, 52.
And the sticker just hanging on as well by a thread. Needs double tops now. Missed it early on. Corrects that error.
Adam Gavlas.
Now finds himself 3-2 behind.
6 leg. Adam to throw first. Game on.
Still 2 opportunities for Thomas. 1 leg against the throw. Potentially 1 to serve it out. Well, this scoring is ridiculous from Adam all of a sudden. 3 180s in 3 scoring visits.
Did he just mouth wow
43
as he threw his second dart, I think?
He's feeling it. In sporting vernacular, this is where the great Jim Nance would say he's dialed in.
57.
He's in that flow state. That's where you want to be as a player. You just don't want to think. You want to feel. You know
60.
exactly when it leaves your hand, it's hitting the target. You almost want to click onto that position all the time. You feel as though the methodical players have an opportunity to do that a lot better than rhythmic players.
96.
Yeah, thinking is overrated when you're in the middle of the game. You want to be in an autopilot state.
80.
And that is great news for Gavlas. Points on the floor for Thomas.
$58.
That's more than good enough at this stage. The only way he was going to be pressurised was if Thomas was to max right there.
140.
Having said that, he is bearing down on him just in case he has a nightmare on the doubles again, like he did a couple of legs ago.
Martin Adams. Martin Thomas is like a chip. Like a chip. Like a seagull. Waiting for the chip to just fall. And that's where he finds himself as Adam Galwas now. He's gone for the obscure
45.
way for the 110. And then just fumbled his way onto 65. Which I think if he went just a straight treble, would have been a lot more effective.
83. Out of the car, 65.
Visit was going really well after dart 1. But he only bagged 23 more points. Can Adam take us all the way again? You betcha.
6 leg. Adam Gavlas.
Welcome to the Modus Super Series, where marathon darts is the
final leg.
norm.
Martin to through first. Game on.
Nothing seems to be going right on the dart shirt. The collar is malfunctioning. His labels are malfunctioning, but his recovery effort is very much alive.
85.
If Gavlas can win this last leg, he will join Manby and Thomas on 8 points, but Manby has that game in hand against Wawrzewski next.
96.
But he has to win it. He has to.
121.
The challenge now is that if he loses the game, his next game is going to be against David. But he's going to have to wait for results then.
Yeah, if he loses this leg, Gavlas is in trouble. Because he can be overtaken
121.
by more than one person. He's running out of places to stick it. Fair play to him. A lot of players would have just put it on the table and said, I've had enough of that, actually.
I think since he's turned that collar up, certainly scoring better.
Yeah, with that collar up, he's starting to look like Cruella de Vil.
43.
If he leaves 101 in this leg, it might be a sign.
$100.
135 for Thomas to guarantee himself into Saturday. Adam Gavlas stuck on the M1. Not moving at all, but another treble year will put the 135 under
134.
pressure.
Mastercard 135.
I don't believe there are 107 Dalmatians. Is there a bullseye?
94.
That is a missed start
107.
to qualify for the Week 6 finals. Is there going to be a dart here for the 2 points? There is not. So
82.
Thomas has his pick.
41.
He has his chance to make his way to Saturday before anybody else in this group. He led overnight. He's in Saturday. Martin Thomas has done his job with a game to spare. He's got a game against Henry Coates in game number 8. But he went through 7 legs with Adam Gavlas and prevailed. He's done a very, very good job there. And Adam Gavlas is very vulnerable in 3rd position now. He could be overtaken by some others. But let's get to Manby and Wawrzewski next. One person is through already, and his name is Martin Thomas. So that will be his 5th Saturday night. And we're already on Saturday already, and we could be giving him company if Charlie Manby can find his way through this one against Dave Wawrzewski. But if Dave can find the upset here against Manby, he would be equalising Gavlas on 6 points. Ahead of playing Gavlas.
Game on.
In game number 9. So David's route to Saturday night, it could happen.
41.
Because he's playing 2 of the next 3 games. The destiny of his Saturday night participation,
100.
It's all about the next 60 minutes.
121.
So that's the Portsmouth way of saying next on 60 minutes.
$40.
Manby now does not need to wait behind David. Because David's quite
60.
rat-a-tat, and you'd see that it's a little, just a pirouette as Manby goes to the back and just flips around. But early on, he was seeing yoga poses, backflips, dart juggling, and all sorts. And this kind of rhythm will benefit Manby.
59.
Yeah, Manby was brilliant against Wawrzewski on Thursday night. Average nearly 92, but 150 check out, a 135 on the ball. Couple of maximums in there, 50% on the doubles. It was a really good performance. It could have been so much better.
100. Charlie O'Carr, 87.
Nice start, that one. How's his double 18?
Getting shown the first
Good enough.
Charlie Manby.
Takes the break of throw. Champagne is very much on ice, but the condensation is dripping and the bottle is saying, open me if you dare.
Why does it sound like a Transylvanian
85
kind of bottle of champagne? I thought it was French.
Yeah, champagne is from the region of Champagne. And if it's not from that region, it's not champagne.
So Prosecco is not champagne.
Prosecco is Italian.
100.
And if you get anything from another country, it's just a version of sparkling
60.
white wine. Champagne has to be from Champagne. Like other things that are protected around the world, like Parmigiano Reggiano cheese can only be from Parma in Emilia-Romagna.
100.
I get mine from Tesco, but we won't tell anybody else.
One of the exceptions to the rule, actually, is you can get cheddar cheese from Cheddar in England.
101.
But it can be grown in other parts of the world, or cultivated, or made. I know too much about cheese.
83. Charlie O'Carr, 92.
I'm a Stilton guy myself, so I do enjoy a bit of Charlie Manby. Yeah, can only set up
45.
and watch
David
attempt the 78. Will there be an opportunity for Charlie to hold through?
38.
Yes,
Charlie O'Carr,
David
47.
just too quick on the draw for the double tops. Charlie Manby now stepping up 47, 2 in hand, double 16. Finds it with one in hand. Charlie Manby halfway to Saturday.
Third leg, David is through first. Game on.
David just blinked and it's 2-0.
180.
There's that lovely gesture. Every time Wazzy hits a 180, he looks to the skies.
46.
Those darts of Manby seem to be leaning a lot to the right-hand side all of a sudden.
100.
He could be the crowd favourite on Saturday night.
100.
We're going to see a lot of English people in this crowd. However, the word is that there might be a lot of Irish folk travelling to
60.
Portsmouth early in the morning. That's the crack. That's the word.
That's the rumbles on the ground.
97. David Dakar,
Ireland
161.
is taking over.
Shots on.
78.
It was a great visit until dart 3. Has to go back to the 60 now. Can't use anything else.
58.
We're getting a few more reactions from Charlie tonight. Looking a bit more relaxed.
He's comical. He plays the game in a great
Game show on the
spirit,
third leg.
but
David Wazowski.
He's on fire. He holds the throw there, and
Forfeit Charlie to
this
third
is
first. Game on.
you feel as though Charlie can't approach this in a playful manner. Because David will switch it on and take the game away from him. I think Adam Gavlas, there was a reason to win, but I don't think there's going to be a reason to win beat David yet. Because David just going about
41.
his business. Charlie needs to switch on, make sure that he gets it.
Well, that's the thing about Wazzy, because he'll play the same game, whether it's first game of the
41.
group, fourth, or last. He just gets up there, he does his thing, and that is the way you should be playing.
95.
Because every game, every leg is important. It's not as if people start a match saying, do you know what? I really want to win this 4-2.
100.
No. You go into every game thinking you're going to win 2-0.
85.
I always say, like, if I'm coming here, I'm going to be 4-1. Because then I give myself a bit of room for error.
90.
But when you on your game, you definitely want to be 4-0 all the time. 6-0, wherever you want to play, just 2-0.
100.
Quickest
Charlie
route,
Dakar,
in and out.
170.
Next round, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
96.
Yeah, nice crafting there from the 19s. Trying to get a little bit more to try and leave double 18. It didn't happen.
60. Charlie Dakar, 74.
So he could fend off Wazzy's charge here. Double top.
54. David Dakar, 120.
He hits the dart that he wanted to avoid. At least he's coming back.
100.
However, his
Charlie
opponent
Dakar,
has just
20.
left what he's got, just in case. Double 5.
15.
Oh,
David Dakar,
now what's
20.
happening? Well, welcome to the Thunderdome, everyone, where everything seems to be 4-3.
Game show
Looks
the
like this
fourth
one
leg,
might be
David
just the same.
Wazowski.
Get
Fifth leg,
max
David in third
entertainment,
first.
maximum legs.
Game on.
So far, there's been 7 games played, or playing, including this one.
83.
And there's been 5 4-3s, and this one might go the distance as well. Paul Nicholson is extremely excited about that as well. So it means that he gets to speak about the sport a lot
100.
more.
I think some people would say I speak enough. But we are getting more legs
100.
tonight than a derby match in a centipede basketball game. Wouldn't want to be in charge of giving him the sneakers. That's a lot of legs.
60.
I just got it now. Because when you said Snickers, I'm like, why would centipedes eat chocolate?
171.
Anything's possible. And Manby could even get a 10-darter. He had one hit against him from Martin Thomas in the early hours of Friday.
100. Charlie Dakar,
Is he
50.
feeling frisky? No, he's feeling professional.
Game
It was
show
a
on the
very
fifth leg,
good
Charlie
play.
Manby.
It's a 12-darter to get to 3-2. And 501 points separate
leg,
Charlie
Charlie to
Manby from
third first.
Saturday night. He made it on debut
Game
in the
on.
previous series. He's looking to make it 2 from 2. Just like Henry Coates tonight.
44.
The problem
43.
with losing this game for Wawrzewski is that his leg difference will slip. And that makes participation in Saturday very, very difficult when he plays Gavlas in game 9.
140.
It's particularly more pertinent if he loses 4-2.
100.
Gavlas, as it stands, is on -2 with 6 points. If Wawrzewski
94.
loses this leg, he'll be on -9 on 4. He would have to beat Adam Gavlas to
99.
0 to stand a chance. So winning this leg could be critical, but he might be stopped from that possibility because Manby has been outscoring him. Tops. And Charlie Manby is in Saturday. He punches his ticket. And even though Dave Wawrzewski has lost that game, he'll be very happy for that young man from Yorkshire, who will be a brilliant addition to the Saturday shortlist. He's still got one game to go against Henry Coates, and he could influence whether Coates gets through. But now we have to say goodbye to Thomas, who plays Coates next.
Are you ready to lift that trophy, Darius? Yeah. Let's do it then. Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Levanowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy. So receive the trophy. £25,000. The new Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And one more time, the 8th Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new Modus Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison. And one more time, the 7th Modus Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison.
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 Modus Super Series champion, Scott Taylor?
One more time, your new Modus Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McEwen.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series champion, retaining his title, the Nuke, Luke Littler!
Three more games to go in Group B this week. And Martin Thomas is already through, but he has one game left against an opponent who still has 2 games remaining. He could find his way into Saturday night as well, can Henry Coates. And was Martin Thomas looking for something there? It doesn't matter what you're looking for, Martin. You've still got a job to do. Win this game, you can actually win the group, but it will depend on what Henry does against Manby as well. So here we go. This is not so much about Thomas now. It is more about Henry. If he can win this game,
First leg, Henry did through
he
first.
will get into the top 3 with the last 2 games to play.
140.
This is the best time for him to kick in. If he can, he could join Charlie Manby in being the
100.
second English youngster into Saturday night.
$98.
And just like Manby, he made Saturday on his debut in the previous series. So he's trying to preserve something.
Martin Thomas is in no mood for any romantic narratives. He's here just to beat them all.
180.
Henry Coates there with a response of his own. Martin Thomas just quick out of the traps there. And now looking like a deer in the headlights.
85. Henry Carr, 83.
Didn't know what he was going to do there. But this 83 now secures himself as Data tops. What a
Game's on the
finish.
first leg, Henry
Sensible. Like you said, Nico. The kids of today
Second leg, Marty,
use
the
the
third first.
25.
Game on.
That was a treble 17 shot every single day of the week and twice on Sundays for us.
43.
And I'm not calling ourselves old, but it's just the way in which it goes now.
Absolutely. There's only one statement that comes to mind with this fixture for me.
140.
Whose coats is that jacket?
60.
Yes, there's a phrase in Wales. They always say,
100.
whose coat is that jacket? So there's a little bit of a twist. How many twists are we going to get, though?
100.
More twists today than Helter Skelter Factory.
100.
Potentially another 4-3 as well.
Well, 4-3 for Coates would be good enough to get to third.
135. Henry Carr, 161.
Henry could do with a win, and then he could do with a Gavlas defeat against Wawrzewski
45.
next. But that would mean that the job is not done. There'd still be more to do against Manby in Game 10. We will get to that.
85. Henry Carr, 116.
Because we can only estimate what the possibles are. 57 for tops.
96.
So
Matthew
close to
Clark, 78.
2-0.
Like
78 was a good year for the Welsh, wasn't it? Because that was the year that Leighton Rees won the world title.
Game shown in
And
the second
78
leg,
wins the
Marty
second
Thomas.
leg for Thomas.
Third leg, Henry did through first. Game on.
I like how Henry took his time with the darted tops. He just slowed the pullback a lot and just try and be a bit more deliberate. And I
100.
think that's certainly going to work for him. Just the way in which he does throw.
$85.
He's never deviated away from those slim flights as well, Martin. It's a trusty shape for him.
125.
Henry's dabbling in a few different flight technologies at the minute, trying to find out which is best for him. But this piece of equipment that he's
100.
using, the translucent ones, have been very useful for David Evans recently.
Absolute kill
60.
overthrow as well. The technique of a genius.
$58.
The Treblers visit there. Certainly steps up an opportunity.
140.
Coates gets 2 trebles in. So that puts him on 76. Now, Martin Thomas is under some bit of pressure, yeah.
100.
Not
Henry
for
Carr,
anything
76.
else, but just purely to beat Coates. Because the one thing that people don't understand as Henry gets his tops
Game shown the third leg,
is
Henry
that
Coates.
when you're playing in this game, even though you have qualified
Fourth
through
leg Martin
Saturday, it's
deserves
not that
first,
you
game
step
on.
off because you want to almost leave studs on the other player for Saturday so that you go, when you play them, if you
90.
do meet them in whether it's the round robin or the knockout or in the final, they have that feeling of playing against you and losing against you.
96.
Is that a rugby remark?
It's a football one.
Ah, okay. Because if it was a rugby one, I'm sure Martin would definitely get it.
Not that Welsh can play rugby. Come on.
58.
I'll let you broach that subject with Martin tomorrow.
You can ask him.
134.
He knows our pedigree.
I'm in his good books tonight. He needed someone to clean his glasses for him, and I was more than happy to help.
Why is that what you're doing
95.
behind me? Yeah. What a man.
I'm the resident Modus Super Series Boy Scout. I always come prepared.
57.
Dib dib.
Do you not have a coffee in your bag there?
That's the one thing I don't carry.
55.
He's been throwing with a lot more purpose tonight, has this young man.
58.
Leaves 156, which is a finish which has been found a couple of times this week. That leaves 83.
137.
That doesn't.
Henry Carr, 156. $90.
Oh, that's a lovely
Martin
thought.
Carr, 66.
Equalises Martin's position. So it's who can take 66? There
Game shown
is
the
your
fourth
answer.
leg, Martin Thomas.
Henry doesn't even get a chance.
And again, like all the other
Fifth leg,
matches, we've
Henry
gone
to throw
2-2.
first. Game
And
on.
then your favourite line is a bit of drama. Going back
100.
to 4-3. Just giving us maximum legs, maximum entertainment. Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
97.
When Adam Gavlas is going 4-3, the game usually takes about 20
100.
minutes. This might take about half the time because they're so rapid.
And accurate as well, as we see Martin Thomas here with a 180.
180.
You could just tell, though, the man is on form. Literally flying.
135.
Henry Coates not left behind at all. Bogey. But a 140 year would set him up nicely.
98.
There's not a player at this level and above that doesn't like a good 1-2-6.
96. Martin Carr, 126.
2 cracks at the 19s. 6s for 3-2.
120.
drastically
Henry Carr,
pulled.
70.
Tops again.
50.
That's what was happening
Martin
last
Carr,
night
6.
against Martin Thomas when he missed 14 darts at a double
Game shown
against
the
him.
fifth leg,
And
Martin
Thomas
Thomas.
makes him pay with a break of throw.
If
Sixth leg,
Henry
Martin
gets
to
through
throw
this, he
first.
does
Game
not
on.
want to see Martin Thomas again. Because once you've felt that, and yeah, another max just to stack it on top.
180.
Martin Thomas, yeah, just it's as if his dart is Bluetooth into the just connected via Bluetooth into the
57.
treble 20. Cannot miss. The man cannot miss.
He did finish his night last night with a 10 darter. He's not going to do that again.
80.
But he's in a wonderful position to win his final match once again, to establish the clubhouse lead in the table at 12 points.
40.
The permutations will follow, but if Thomas wins this game, Coates is going to need a favour.
28.
It could be all over in the next game. Coates loses here. Gavlas wins his
46.
next match. He will be safe.
And then we will have the robot into Saturday.
100.
And Terminator will be back.
Is that enough?
Mastercard 113.
The suspicion is it isn't. But then again, 158 was taken out last night. Coincidentally by that man from Wales.
77. Henry Carr 158.
That was an interesting route.
58. Martin Carr
254s
56.
for Bull. We know where Martin's going. Right
James
there.
Thomas, match, Martin Thomas.
12 points for Martin Thomas. Deals a massive blow to Henry Coates and his chances of making Saturday night. It's not over yet, but his chances are now officially slim. It all comes down to the next game. On this occasion, Thomas wins with the inferior average. It was a very good contest, but it's now down to Gavlas to see if he can punch his ticket to Saturday this time.
$54. Charlie McGuire, 164. $44. $32. Charlie required 120.
Well, 120. He's got a fair, at least 2 handfuls at this. Just needs to stay
60.
there. That's a good shot. Halves his score. Leaves himself on a 2 darter.
$26. Charlie
Time on his
required
side
60.
to become back-to-back singles champion.
$40.
Definitely a couple of nerves in those last 2 darts. But he'll be coming back.
It's a moment he's been in before this situation. Standing at the back of the stage,
Charlie
approaching the
required
hockey with a
20.
chance to win the title.
He did this to win the first title, if you remember.
11.
I think he's gone.
Georgia
I think he's
required
gone to
180.
bust it, maybe. The first title he wanted 20. He went 6-7-7 to win it. He had a chance to replicate it again.
Yeah, I get the feeling that was for a bust, and
39.
on that situation there, George Scaife wasn't even
9.
able to take it out going to the 18s on that switch.
Yeah, I think he just panicked a bit, but he's done well to get that big one.
Sometimes can be the hardest part.
Georgia requires
This is it.
79.
It's got to be 19s. It's got to be 19s for this shot. Big 20 and a double. He's got the first one. He's going to get a match dart here.
$59. Charlie
Threw the entire
required
body into that
8.
one. Just didn't want to let go of the dart.
No score.
He's given George a chance.
George require 20.
I think George has been quite good on double 10 today.
So many opportunities for Charlie Murphy. Couldn't get the job done.
Got in the match! And the Red Dragon
George
Modus
Skate.
Super Series Influencers Champion, George Skate!
Two more games on the slate for Friday into Saturday morning, and David Wawrzewski has still got a chance of qualifying, but it is a very, very difficult obstacle that he has to climb. Here is the tail of the tape. Wawrzewski can mathematically qualify if he beats Adam Gavlas 4-0. Then he would still need Charlie Manby
Game on.
to beat Henry Coates in the final game. The main reason it's out of the question is because a 4-0 tonight is about as rare as seeing a Southampton fan at Fratton Park.
95.
If you're watching from outside the UK, Fratton Park is the local football stadium, which is about as blue as the summer sky.
140.
And Southampton fans are not welcome there at all. So it is rare. Win all the legs and see if you get the result in the last one. That is the romantic side of this game. Gavlas, who has been somewhat touted as a Terminator tonight, is still looking for his first win.
140.
It's wild though, considering how good he's played tonight. He's been really competitive, playing really well. But just some slack visits in important times cost him games. He's gone up and he's going to have to come back down now.
Yeah, I think that's fourth game of the night where he lost to Charlie Manby 4-0. Sorry, 4-3. He was 3-0 up. That may have left a bruise that nobody can see. Just imagine if Gavlas does not qualify.
85. Out of the
He's
car,
been
170.
so close. All Wednesday afternoon. He wins this game. He's going to be safe. It's the same situation as he was in against Neil Duff.
77. David the car,
If he
136.
loses by any scoreline, he leaves himself vulnerable to Henry Coates.
96.
One of the craziest things
Out of the
is
car, 93.
these two boys are staying in the same apartment. So the walk home is going to be great.
How's his tops?
53.
Not good enough.
David
And
Carr,
Wawrzewski
40.
needs this for his first of 2 breaks.
20. Out of the car, 40.
Can't say he didn't have a chance. This is to put Wawrzewski out.
Game shown the first leg.
That's
Adam
the end
Gavlas.
for Wazzy this week. And I think he knows it.
Second leg, David is through first.
Gavlas
Game
now
on.
has to protect what he wants, which is 3 more legs, 2 points, and a guaranteed
60.
route into his first Saturday night.
Adam Gavlas, all that methodical approach there.
60.
Managing on your 30, and I think that's the first time he's actually missed the bed consecutive times which shows you just his conversion rate. I remember Max Hobb was one of the straightest throwers on the Pro Tour. He'd never miss left or right just because of his throw dynamics and technique. It was be up and down, phenomenal. I think Adam Gavlas is 85. In that same category today.
You know how they say the closer you get to a black hole, how time slows down? You're probably wondering where I'm going to go with this. I'm actually not sure. So let's move on.
Ladies and gentlemen, please excuse Paul. It is nearly 1 a.m. on Saturday. He will be returning here in just a couple of hours to continue this craziness. But imagine this went 4-3 as well, Paul.
I don't think Gavlas cares. I think he just wants to get the 4. I think we should start a bit of a trend on Saturday night. When someone gets their 4th leg, you've got to signal
99.
4 like they do on the cricket field.
156.
Get a little bit of a wave going.
I like that idea.
81.
Someone gets a 170 finish, do the old 6, like Billy Bowden.
Oh, the most charismatic umpire you can ever find. Adam Gavlas here would love to get 2 trebles. It does not. So now he knows that
59.
He's a bit too far.
David Carr, 75.
David has 75 required. 36, 36. First one in.
39.
Second one rapidly dispatched, but wayward. 225 though. So David has a lot of time. But after the stroke, Gavlas might leave the big fish. Or maybe not.
59. David Carr, 36.
He's gone for the conventional miscount.
Getting shown the second leg, David Wawrzewski.
Well, there is that equaliser for Wawrzewski.
Third leg.
Any idea what the most popular sport is in Czechia, Devon?
I'd go with what is it, the ice thing?
You'd be very close. What? Ice hockey.
65.
That is exactly what I was trying to say.
Yeah, the ice thing.
Yeah.
You were thinking of curling, weren't you?
Oh, that's what it is, yeah.
55.
I nearly won.
I'll let you have that one.
Ice hockey, wow. Where does darts fit on that ranking of popular sports?
I think it's getting there. It's gradually going up the charts. I think in Europe we call it ice hockey, but in Canada and in North America as a whole,
100.
They just call it hockey because the other version of hockey is called field hockey.
60.
Ice hockey's a little bit brutal, but a great sport to watch.
Yeah, it's ice hockey where you're allowed to actually have a bit of a 5-minute cool down.
Yeah, a bit of a rumble you can have. If you throw the gloves on the ice, throw
95.
the helmet on the ice, and you challenge someone to fight, you can fight, and the referees will allow it. But as soon as somebody falls to the ice, the fight is over, and you both go to the sin bin. Great when it's live. Great fun.
It's actually a nice rule. We should imply it in darts as well.
Can you imagine that happening?
Yeah, you could get some of those guys that act hard and see if they're really that hard.
Which darts fight would you like to see then?
I think there's a few that's currently bubbling under, isn't it?
58. Out of the car, 107.
I'd like to see someone throw the gloves and the helmet on the floor at Boris Krutchmer.
No.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
He throws it on the floor, you pick it up. No, mate, you put it back on. Don't worry about that.
Yes, Boris, what would you like? Oh, no 54. Well, what are you doing going 54 anyway? You don't have
23.
to. Don't do what you don't have to.
I think it's that time of night. Just brain is not working. It's late. He's
100.
hot.
Adam Carr,
He's
84.
bothered. And he's just not processing it like he should. So this 84 year, you can tell he's glistening as well. Because of the moisture on his forehead. Because of the heat. He's going to need 14 now. Misses the big number. So he's going to go 13, leave double tops. He misses that big
43.
number.
He's losing his radar.
David Carr, 88.
Terminator is being terminated. Bullseye.
63.
David
Adam Carr,
misses
41.
a shot to break the Adam Gavlas throw and leaves him left on 41. And this is possible. I think he's trying to make up his mind here. Well, it looks like he's going for 1. His eyes poised. Oh, he's going for 9. Just double checks. Something you hate.
Game
And he
shot on the
gets
third
it.
leg, Adam Gavlas.
Solid leg of darts there from Adam Gavlas.
Fourth leg, David to throw first. Game
Made a
on.
mess of it midway through. But in the end, the miss from David gave him an opportunity. David's fate sealed
140.
already. He's not going to be joining us on Saturday. But Henry Coates waits in the wings.
Henry is hopeful. But he needs a favour from Wazzy. A big favour. Now, for example,
96.
if Wawrzewski could turn this around and win 4-3, Gavlas would
100.
finish on 6 points and -3. Coates would be 2 points behind and 1 leg behind. Based on what we can see, Coates would have to beat Manby by 4 legs to 2.
140.
Just to get the points and the jump in the leg difference. But it doesn't matter if Gavlas wins.
100.
Adam should be starting on the 19s here. Just having an interaction with one of our backroom staff, he has reminded us here in commentary that famous Czech goalkeeper Petr Cech, who is retired from football now, is actually playing ice hockey as a second sport.
45.
He's playing just
David
up the
Carr,
year 3
161.
for the local team at Guildford. Multi-talented sports person.
125.
Bit like Ezzy Price.
A bit like you with golf.
I'm no Nick Faldo. Not as good as Hope I Poor. He's better than Scratch.
Man, it's built like a fridge, like a vending machine, so I'm sure that he can connect with the ball and it
40.
will go distances.
David Carr, 36.
And David, yeah, looking to go the distance and make
Finish on
it
the fourth leg,
2-all.
David Wawrzewski.
Henry Coates, yeah, just praying,
Fifth leg, Adam to throw first.
hoping
Game on.
Wazzy's on fire. He wants Adam Gavlas to be terrified.
If Wazzy can win the next 2 legs, Henry would just have to beat Manby. Wouldn't be about leg difference anymore. It would just be about the result.
100.
So much body and shoulder going into that throw now for Gavlas. This is game 23 of his week.
100.
But because of his methodical nature, as you said, game 23, I think that just by the way he throws, it takes a lot more out of him.
85.
Well, it's a bit like if you consult a physiotherapist and they say that you've got to do an exercise with a 1 kilogram
100.
dumbbell. You think, this is going to be too easy. No, it won't be if you do things the right way. Small movements with small muscles, with small weights, can become very, very difficult. And yes, he's only carrying a dart, which is less than 25 grams in weight. But if you throw it thousands of times, leaving that elbow up there,
41.
You're going to feel it after 5 days.
Especially in the lower back.
60.
And then the shoulder. And then, like you said, the major and the minor rhomboid. The side delt. And the bicep and the tricep. And these are things that people don't actually think about. Because you just go, I'm going to pick up this dart and I'm going to throw it. Muscles activated is a big thing.
42.
Something else might be activated right here. It's what we know in the industry as a BOT.
140.
Which sounds like a really bad sandwich. Break of throw. Gavlas has got to start on 19s here. 7 to get to a 2-darter. 2 singles and a 25 to leave a finish. Somewhere in between leaves a number which has already had its footprint on the Super Series in the last 20 hours.
61.
Did he go 30?
Adam McCarr, 138.
I think it might have gone 36 there, did he?
Yeah, he was going for double 18, double top.
What a man.
Flair from Was He On Fire? Okay, so that is not going to go. If Wazzy's tops or 40 points in total does,
58.
Henry
David
Coates
40.
is going to be one happy bunny.
No
There's
score.
been a little bit
Adam
too
McCarr,
much
80.
of that the last couple of nights for David.
Adam Gavlas taking his time here on the 80. I think it's just a bit too much time taken.
I agree. There's too much thought
60.
going into it.
David McCarr, 40.
So it's double 10. If he misses tops, he doesn't miss it, and it's 3-2. Things are getting very, very familiar for Adam Gavlas. He lost his last 3 games of Group A. He could potentially
60.
lose his last 4 of Group B.
And he's been good of 3 of those 4 games, and this one not so great. But it is the one he needs, though. And David's not letting him have his own way. Which is incredible.
45.
The story, it just... We've had drama today, though. I think I've had my fair share. I'm hoping that tomorrow is going to just be in the finals 4-0, 4-0, 4-0, 4-0, and then 4-0, 4-0. And then lift the trophy, and then that's it.
We haven't even had a 4-1 tonight. Never mind a 4-0.
Just speaks about the quality on the Modus Super Series stage and just the kind of players that are participating.
I think the way things have gone the last couple of nights with the results, this is really starting to echo
43.
the lyrics of Billy Joel in the middle of the night.
I've been walking down the street.
55.
We're going to be walking in our sleep. Something needs to kick in right here for Adam Gavlas. He's thrown 6 darts. He's not south of 410. Tomorrow morning, well, basically later this morning, instead of looking forward to Saturday night, he might be looking for a flight home.
$60.
Yeah, that shoulder is fully engaged now. This is not about technique. This is raw.
This is just get it into the treble. But Wazzy's on fire, finding a steady treble. And this is where the experience comes in. Just settling in, making sure that he hit the ton. He knows the game. He knows what he has to do. Even though he's already eliminated, it's all about pride. For Adam Gavlas, it's all about survival.
Even little things like tonight could be better than last night for Wazzy. He had 1 win last night. Tonight he got to have 2 if he gets rid of this game. That's a big visit. 110 points for Wazzy to win 4-2 to put Adam on the rack. He can still qualify the Czech player even if he loses this leg, but he'd need Charlie Manby to beat Henry Coates.
$85. David Carr, 110.
That just looked like a dislodged. He's going to do some damage, but doubles 18.
Game shot on the
It's
match.
there.
Wawrzewski.
So Wazzy has been on fire. He wins by 4 legs to 2. And Adam Gavlas is firmly in trouble now. He's lost all 4 games here tonight. He's got 6 points. And we're about to find out in the next game whether that is good enough to just make his way into a first Saturday night. Is it going to be Gavlas or will it be Henry Coates? The final act of Group B is about to get underway. Charlie Manby is already in Saturday night, but the person who's playing now has a chance to join him. Adam Gavlas is in the waiting room right now thinking, have I done enough? He's lost 4 games tonight and has remained on 6 points, which is something that Henry Coates can overtake. All he needs to do is win this game. It's not about leg difference anymore, thanks to that 4-2 victory
First.
just now for Dave Wawrzewski. But it's going to have to be a breaking performance from Coates because he doesn't have the throw in this final match of the group. And it's going to be very difficult against this young man because he's got his own agenda. He would like to win this group.
121.
This is going to be a nice game, though. Very rat-a-tat, accurate, great scoring, great finishing. It's going to be
96.
amazing.
I'll tell you what's really interesting about this. Henry Coates wins the match. He finishes 3rd. If he loses, he finishes last. And on top of that, if Manby wins, in all likelihood, he's going to win
98.
this group and would then have Adam Gavlas in his group on Saturday night. The bane of his existence this week. But he did beat him tonight. And that's what you were saying earlier about leaving studs on the player.
And that's such an important thing, and just the way in which you beat him. But that was a magical 14 there from Manby. So looking to top it.
Game on.
I think I got my new favourite player. I
60.
think it's Charlie Manby. Absolute class.
100.
Yeah, I prefer his nickname to be Bumble.
The Manby.
Bumble Manby.
The Bumble Manby.
97.
Get him a nice yellow and black shirt.
Yeah, but then he's going to be Scott Williams, isn't he?
100.
Definitely doing the job. Charlie Manby staying Henry Coates here.
Yeah.
100.
Manby doing the business.
I like what you've done there. A bit of disconnect. Bzz,
43.
bzz. Love it. Paul Nicholson enjoying the darts.
95.
That's around 1:20 in the morning.
58. Henry Carr, 149.
Look at what Charlie's just left. Is he going to hit a 120 at 120 in
95.
the morning?
Charlie Carr, 120.
They say play your age on the golf course. Play the time on the dartboard.
80. Henry Carr, 54.
That's a good job he didn't hit it, actually. Because it was actually 121 when he went for tops. Double 10.
Oh,
it's just a little bit
Charlie
wild
Carr,
from
40.
Henry.
and that's what we talk about when the shoulder comes in. There's a little bit of control lost. Manby, yeah, double 10. Requires double 5. Finds it on the last start, and just like what Manby's doing on that stage, and
like Charlie to throw first.
certainly looking like a hot favourite for tomorrow. If he comes through with this kind of game, the only guy that can stop him,
100.
it's the Terminator. It is Adam Gavlas. And he will be in his group, so
58.
It's going to be challenges.
$91.
But Henry Coates now
57.
throwing nonchalantly, just shake of the head, looking dejected, knowing that slightly a bit of a massive
140.
mountain now to climb, with Manby on the full charge.
100.
to the finish
Charlie
line.
Car
170. I think he's the kind of player that will go for the bull. Not going to see it now, but he will leave it handy.
98.
He is definitely leaving Coates in his wake. This is what was difficult about this final assignment for Henry. It's that Charlie likes to get the job done fast. And it's 3-0. It's another 14-darter. What he's done in legs 1 and 3 is he's forced Coates to find a 4-visit leg.
96.
He hasn't been able to do so, and Manby is on the rampage.
Manby, certainly. A builder by trade, building up their profile. And just doing a demolishing job here from
140.
on Henry Coates.
Why don't we change the lyrics for a good walk-on song for him? Can he hit it? Yes, he can.
140.
Charlie the Builder doesn't sound as good as Bob.
98.
It's Charles the Builder.
No, call him King Charles.
The Builder.
Well,
140.
the king is called Charles.
167.
It looks like Charlie's going to be king of the hockey here. But not just yet.
37.
Can Henry Coates keep his hopes alive? Oh, it's another wild dart.
42.
And that may just be the end.
84.
Manby's had double 12 on the end of a string, but he's not going to go for it. He is going to go for the bull, though.
59.
Oh, and that had a look.
Henry Carr's 40.
Double chops for Henry Coates. And a missed opportunity there for Charlie Manby to beat him 4-0.
Fifth leg Charlie to throw
Will
first.
that be the sting in the tail? Will that be the twist and the drama? It's now an opportunity for Henry Coates to have another shot at this.
60.
But he can't do triplets visits against Charlie because Charlie will demolish that. He will attack it every single time. Triplets visit, and he punishes.
100.
Second time in succession that Manby is averaging a 99
140.
against Coates. I think in his own mind, he wouldn't mind playing against Coates on Saturday night because he likes the rhythm
59.
of the game. But your job is to win every game you play.
93.
And Manby's already missed one dart for the match, which would have won him this group.
100.
As it turns out, Manby and Thomas have dominated this group.
84. Charlie Carr 142.
Another chance to win.
42.
All he can do is trim down to 100. Coates is still kicking, but for how long?
56. Charlie Carr 100.
100 points away. 40 points away.
Getting shot in the match, Charlie Manby.
And that's it for Henry Coates. Charlie Manby knows that he's eliminated his young friend from Derbyshire. He will finish at the bottom of the table. But that man right there is going to finish at the top. He averages 95.38 with 50% on the doubles. His best checkout right at the end. Wins by 4 legs to 1. And let's give you a little bit of an insight into how you can attend the Live Lounge in Portsmouth when it comes to Saturday nights. So it's all done and dusted, and these are the last 4 results of our Group B here in Week 6. Charlie Manby with that 4-1 victory at the end, that ensured that Henry Coates could no longer qualify, and that was after Dave Wawrzewski had beaten Adam Gavlas in his 4th game of this evening's play, and Gavlas has somehow managed to hang on for 3rd position in this table. Look at the fine margins. Wawrzewski finishes in 4th. He had the same points as Gavlas in the end, but it was Coates who had the chance to figure out how to get to the top 3. He wasn't able to do so, and as you can see, Thomas and Manby have done a brilliant job of dominating this 5-person group over the last couple of nights. So here are your groups for Saturday night. You're going to have Neil Duff, the winner from Group A, taking on Martin Thomas, and Ronan McDonough, who got through by the finest of margins himself in Group C earlier on in this weekend's play. That will be your first group, and the first game will include the 2022 WDF champion Duff. As for Group 2, Charlie Manby will renew rivalries with Adam Gavlas, and Kieran Tian will be thrown to the wolves, as he will be the jam in the sandwich of the players that have had 5 games already this week. So that is what we're looking forward to come 7:30 live on Pluto TV a little bit later on today. As for what we got coming up next, we're going to have a bit of a tungsten talk with Paige Pauling, someone who is very young, very talented, and who has a massive future ahead of her. We've seen her plenty. We're going to see a little bit more from Scott Mitchell as well ahead of our finals night, which will be 7:30 on Saturday. Ahead of our Women's Week 4, Group A will start at 9:30 on Monday morning. That's it from us. Devin Peterson, myself, Paul the Asset Nicholson. It's good night from us. We'll see you Saturday night.
What a finish. What a man. The drum roll finishes. And the target is... And that was
it. And it comes on finals night, and it's a knockout.
Dirty